From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hello, folks. It's Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from A Gettysburg Christmas.
This is Bo Brakeman, and you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. And you're listening. Thank you.
There's a devil to pay.
Did you send Ed Lincoln?
Good night, everybody.
Bonfire. You're listening to
Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Oh, exactly.
All right, sorry about that. I had to make sure we were live. We were unlisted, so I changed it to live. So if you guys noticed that in the back there, don't worry. I changed it over to live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Addressing Gettysburg Today. You know why I'm so excited?
Why, Matt?
I am so excited for two reasons.
Two?
Yes.
Just two?
Yes. One is it's the last show of the year.
Yay!
Hooray! And after Tuesday, I will be not recording any more shows until January.
Yay!
So I have, really, it's more like mythical time off because I'm not recording, or doing these shows, but I am doing all the other crap that I don't get to do all the time because I'm recording, like, the boring office stuff,
like
accounting.
Make me an events jingle.
All that, making events, making new. What do you mean? We have them.
The events one?
Yeah.
You've never played
Oh,
it.
the events one. I'm sorry. No, you're right.
Rude.
I'm sorry. Very rude. Very rude.
Mm-hmm.
And
get my hopes up and then dash them.
That's number one. Number two, I'm excited because, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're never going to get Martin Sheen. You're never going to." Okay, maybe I won't. But I got somebody bigger than Martin Sheen.
Bigger than Martin Sheen.
You know who?
Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen. No,
Emilio
Richards.
Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
Swear to God.
No, I got Santa Claus.
Woo!
Yeah. Santa Claus is coming to this show, this studio, in the second segment. We're starting. He's out in the green room right now with Mrs. Claus, by the way. Mm-hmm. Okay, he brought the Mrs.
They're
along.
eating a lot out there.
Oh my God. I had to get 14 pounds of cookies from Gettysburg Baking Company today.
And like gallons of milk.
They're half
Naturally.
gone. Half gone already. But
he's got to keep up that jolly old image.
Well, and what is it Mrs. Claus says about the skinny Santa? Nobody
likes the skinny Santa.
Exactly, and that's true. That's very true. And so they're out there in the green room, very excited to have them on. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is no joke. If you've got kids that like to watch the show with you, or even if they don't, drag them in. You know how sometimes kids, I don't know if you've known kids that do this, but I think my nephew did this for a while, where he wouldn't tell us what he wanted for Christmas because he thought if he did, then Santa wouldn't bring it. Because in some weird way, it's like a secret between him and Santa. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So then he spent Christmas disappointed because he didn't get what he wanted.
He got nothing for 5 years. But then finally we're like, well, you got to tell us so we could tell Santa too, because he's old, he forgets, So, so if your kid does that, this might be a great way for you to hear it. Maybe you just go to the room, let them sit there in private, and then go to the other room and watch it, and then start writing down the list.
This is a great opportunity just to talk to Santa in general.
And it's also a great opportunity to talk to Santa. I was just talking to him, and I'm getting
verklempt.
I'm getting verklempt. Because all of the childhood memories came back of what a magical elf he was. And I remember looking for footprints in the carpet outside of the fireplace and finding them once my dad figured out that I was doing that. And then every year, and he'd eat the cookies.
And did you always leave carrots for the reindeer?
No, I didn't care about the reindeer.
That's an important
Christmas.
No.
Thanks.
It is
See, I
very
think that's a
important
country
stuff.
thing. You guys, you grew up in the country, right?
No.
Oh,
I
no?
grew up in the Detroit area.
I thought you were in the country for some reason.
No, I grew up
Because you know what happens if you leave carrots?
What?
They sprinkle some of their dust on the ground outside your house.
Is that true?
So it's magic Christmas dust.
What does it do?
You can make a wish.
I always wanted it to make me fly, but it never worked.
So you've heard this too? I guess they didn't do that in Jersey. Maybe Jersey had some kind of EPA law.
It's because you didn't leave carrots.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
You have to
like,
feed them. They're not
there
just going
is
to leave
a
it for anybody.
direct correlation to your lack of carrots.
Well, all right. Well, good to know. And maybe we'll talk to Santa about that later.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, actually, what we're going to do, we're not going to talk to Santa we'll talk to him in the hallway.
Yeah.
But we're going to turn the show over to Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
I mean, he's been around for a couple hundred years. I think he knows how to host a podcast. You know what
I
I'm
would
saying?
hope.
I think so.
I would hope.
One would hope, and
Yeah.
and it's going to be interesting. And quite frankly, there's just not enough room in the room for all of us plus Santa and
Too
Mrs.
much Christmas spirit.
Way too much Christmas spirit. So we're going to honestly, I'll probably go back in the control room and watch it on the monitors and kind of just be emotional about the whole thing because
You're allowed.
I mean, how many people get to meet a childhood hero like St. Nicholas? You know, not many.
No, it's true.
And again, this is a testament to our awesome audience. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to be so powerful that we can get Santa Claus on the show.
Clearly, we must all be
It
on
was-
the good
Listen,
list, the
it
nice
was a fight.
list.
It was a fight getting them here. I mean, I can't tell you how many messages we had to send up to the North Pole just to get a response.
His people are tough.
They are. They're hard nosed.
Yeah, and rightfully so, though. I mean, the guy is a wanted man, like, you know, in
Not
a good
wanted,
way.
wanted, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what am I saying?
In demand.
In
Apparently, it
demand.
was
That's-
between us and Jimmy Kimmel, and we got the bid.
Yeah, well, luckily Jimmy Kimmel goes on later so they can get out there. Those, those reindeer fly fast.
I think
They
we
do.
convinced him to hang out in Gettysburg for the evening.
Well, we did, and he's going to Jimmy Kimmel tomorrow, actually.
It's made Jimmy wait a day.
Well, by the way, Colby, that's why Mrs. Claus is here. She's really into the ideas of the idea of the ghost tours, and she wants to take a ghost tour and go to the Dobbin House.
Oh.
A lot of people
Everybody
don't
loves that.
realize that Mrs. Claus is a huge Civil War buff.
And I was telling her about the downstairs and how
Yeah.
nice that was.
Yeah,
The tavern.
the tavern.
The
yeah.
tavern, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course Santa Claus, we were talking about it in the hallway, and Santa said, "Well, I saw the Civil War," and he goes, this place makes me uncomfortable because many of the boys who he brought presents to in the Union and Confederate armies." He gave the Confederates coal, but the Union Army, many of them that he gave it to in the winter of '62 were not here in the winter of '63.
That would be highly emotional.
Yeah, and it was very tough for him, and he had to go through that every year. And so, and plus, he also said he never liked the rendition Thomas Nast did of him.
Oh.
Said it was unflattering.
Is that why we had to get him Scotch flavored candy canes?
Yes. And you know how hard it is to get Scotch? Butterscotch you could find.
You can find
yeah.
it anywhere.
But Scotch flavored?
especially aged, you're not finding.
Yeah, he wanted 18-year Scotch flavored candy canes.
I know.
That is oddly specific.
It is.
Well,
It
he's
is.
kind of a specific guy.
Yeah, I was like, Santa, if you ask for single malt, this is over.
He has had hundreds and thousands of years to refine
Yes.
his taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Is he that old?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I feel like as long as there have been people, there is the
I always
spirit
pictured
of
him. I always pictured him
Christmas.
being an ale kind of candy cane guy. Ale dipped, but
Well,
with that German heritage kind of Klaus. You think?
Sure.
You think?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. He likes Oktoberfest. I wonder, and Colby, if, when he's in here, because you got the mic in your face there, maybe you can, if you get an opportunity, you can ask him to, some questions and maybe ask him, what does he do the rest of the year?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because
I would assume helping supervise making toys.
But he's been doing it
I'm
so
sure-
long, does he? Though I feel like you've been doing it that long. You're like,
he's probably
I'm
got like a
past that,
really
though.
good head elf.
I mean, listen, I'm getting ready to make a Marine Corps reference here, but when you've been on
What?
when you've been on
You?
one combat deployment, the second one rolls around, you don't get picked to go fill sandbags. It's just the guys that are on there first.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
That's
You've
right.
been there, done it. So
But don't you think that he enjoys the toy part, or he wouldn't be giving out
Would you
toys? He'd
enjoy
be
it?
giving
You've been
out
doing for
rum flavored
100,000
candy
years.
canes.
Well, I think that like the thing with Santa Claus is that like I kind of relate to him because in those early years, he was telling me in the hallway in those early years, it was very much like what I go through with addressing Gettysburg is like you got people around you, but really the bulk of the work you're doing it.
Yeah.
And he goes, it took him 150 years before he had enough elves to do the real job where he was able to say, you guys got this. And they start in October, by the way.
Just October. I would think earlier.
Oh, I would have thought
well,
all year
kids
long.
don't start talking about
Thinking
Christmas until October.
Okay.
He can't get them anything until they start talking about it.
He doesn't know.
That makes sense.
Because remember, he sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows when you're awake. and he knows if you've been bad, so be good for goodness sake. But he knows this stuff. So like, you start.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
I mean, you've got a child. Do you say to him around October, hey, Ezra, are you thinking what you want for Christmas yet? Or
no, that is true. It's like when Thanksgiving starts around.
Okay,
is
Thanksgiving.
When we start doing that. Yeah.
October, you're still thinking Halloween.
Yeah.
At that point, it's what's your Halloween costume going to be?
What's your Halloween
costume?
Yeah, I
When
never
I was
really.
a kid, I wasn't thinking Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe on the day of.
Exactly. Halloween to me was a goofy holiday for goofballs. I was thinking of as soon as the weather got cold,
AKA
I'm
himself.
starting to think of. I'm looking through catalogs. Remember catalogs?
Oh yes.
I'm looking through catalogs.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, the JCPenney catalog, that huge honk.
well, Victoria's Secret, but it was.
I used to sit there with the Sharpie and circle all the things for mom and dad.
The
so they
Toys
knew
R
what
Us
to get.
catalog.
Yes.
I would circle,
Matt
and my
showed
mom
me
would be
all
like,
his
narrow
throwback-
it down to 3, and there's like 20 things in there. What'd you say, Cole?
You show me all your throwback Victoria's Secrets where you have the different brassieres and stuff circled.
That's right.
Pink, like pink lacy stuff.
There you go.
Really experimental stuff.
Now-
for you.
Exactly.
Here's something really cool that Santa was telling me in the hallway.
So they
Toys
knew
R
what
Us
to get.
catalog.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. That was the feed. I forgot to mute it. Go ahead.
Okay. So we went to Hershey Park a couple weeks ago, and the reindeer were there. They had made a waylay into Hershey Park. And Ezra was there, and the lady there had said, do you have any questions? Meaning about the reindeer. And Ezra goes, yeah, can you get me some Lego? And
Well, at least you now know what he wants.
yeah, and Santa had been there because we had stood in line to see Santa. And by the time we got up there, Santa noticed that Ezra was really too shy. And so we had to leave without ever saying anything. And that nice lady at the Hershey Park told Santa that Ezra had said he wanted Lego. And so
Very nice.
Ezra is pretty sure he's going to be getting Lego, and Santa confirmed.
Well,
So
good.
I'm excited.
I don't want to overhype it here, ladies and gentlemen, but this is truly going to be a momentous occasion. So please, share this link around. Tell everybody, hey, Santa Claus is on Addressing Gettysburg tonight, and in a very little amount of time, he'll be on here, and we're very excited. I'm sorry, forgive me. And Mrs. Claus. I keep forgetting Mrs. Claus. But she'll be here too, and it's
the unsung hero.
truly because she's got to
Always
keep him
forgotten.
going, right? Behind every great man is another woman. How does it go? Behind every
Something
great
like
man
Is another woman?
is a woman who cooks his meals to keep him plump.
I'm pretty sure
How does
Santa
the
might
saying
do all
go?
the cooking.
I think you're all over it, dude.
Thank you. No, and listen, behind every great man is a greater woe man. Whoa, man.
Did you guys plan that?
She was a thief. She stole my heart and my cat. You know what that's from?
No.
So I Married an Axe Murderer. You never saw that?
I did, and it's a great movie. Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Woman. Whoa, man. Whoa, man. She was a thief. She stole my heart. You got to believe she stole my heart and my cat. No?
No, but
Nah.
Now I kind of want to, though.
Now I want to see it. I just don't want to see it if you're not there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I feel like that might be part of the
Like a
problem here.
Is it a
Mystery
Welsh
3000?
Is the dad Welsh or
Scottish.
Scottish? Okay, that's what. It
Yeah. Head, pants, no. It's like Sputnik. It's got its own weather system. Oh my God, it's such a
All
good
right,
movie.
I'll put it on the list.
So Charlie tells me you're a bitcher. She was a butcher,
Oh,
but that's his accent.
yeah.
Also on the show, we have a lot of stuff on the show. we have with us a guest, Kelly Gormley, who wrote this book here, Cease Firing, Life and Death at the Swope Manor. You all know the Swope Manor. It's on the corner of Stratton Street and York Street.
Stratton?
Stratton Street and York Street. And
Stratton.
it is
French, you know.
It's a gorgeous, it's a B&B, an inn, whatever you call it. We'll find out the right answer. And it's gorgeous. You just walking by it and you look in the windows and you're like, it's like stepping back in time. I've always wanted to stay there.
You should see it decorated for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
bet
were in
it's
there.
nice.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, she did a tour.
I did a
was there.
food tour.
With Savor Gettysburg.
Indeed.
Yes, Lori Mitchell. They used to be a sponsor. Lori now opened the Cottage Creperie, which is delicious.
Fantastic.
Really
I got the
good.
cinnamon bun sweet crepe yesterday, and it was.
You know what I like there? I like the like meat lovers breakfast thing.
Okay.
It's and the lemon curd or lemon is it
Something or
curd
other.
or lemon something?
Lemon sneezy.
Lemon sneezy. Easy peasy lemon sneezy.
I don't know if I want.
that
Yeah,
how
I don't
it
want that. Eat that.
I think that's how it goes. That's
Yeah, lemon
that's one of
sneezy.
the versions. There's another version we probably shouldn't say.
No, you don't want to say that other one. Lemon sneezy.
It's funny that you know which one I was.
Of course I do, because that's the real one. Anyway,
The two of them are trying to figure out what it is.
I don't even want to know.
I'm laughing for somewhat different reasons, but
a piper is down. Repeat, a piper is down. Do you remember that line? You ever heard that? So they go, a piper is down. Repeat, a piper is down.
I'm gonna have to watch.
If you want my body and you think
I
I'm
remember that,
sexy.
yeah.
That's from that movie.
Okay.
God, it finally got there. All right, listen. I don't know. Should we get to Santa? Oh no, you almost you fell down the stairs. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
at Rupp House after the Christmas festival. I was putting everything away and I missed the step.
How many steps are we talking?
Enough.
I hate when
And
they just
they're
move
the-
on you like that.
The stone steps, and I bumped my arm. You can't really see it, but it was a nice big lump and bruise. And Erin, who was here just a little bit ago, was in front of me, and she goes, "Oh, please don't die."
pretty much what I would have said.
And she's like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And I'm like, it'll grow back.
So wait. So let me straight here. So you're walking down the stairs.
I'm walking up the stairs.
Oh,
She even fell
you're
up
walking
the
up the
stairs, which
stairs.
is even better.
I'm walking up the stairs.
and you're and you lose your footing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you you slip and fall down the stairs. Backwards? Are you tumbling? Are you?
No, I just down.
Okay. So you slid down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Complete with that sound effect.
Yeah. Right.
It's called skills, guys. Now,
I have the same type of skills, which is part of why I'm laughing so much. I've done the same
the
thing.
problem is you are calling out something that to you seems like, oh, wow, that's so interesting that you've done that this one time. This is daily.
Oh, really?
Okay. Because, Rupp House is all steps. The number of times.
No floors there, ladies and gentlemen. It's just steps.
Just steps.
Yeah.
And I'm
Everywhere.
walking up the steps and I trip and fall to the point where now I just yell out, "Nothing happened. Nothing happened. It's okay." I mean, daily.
I think also too this you're seeing a little bit of a clash of the way guys and girls handle things, because like your friend in front of you, the first she please don't die is kind of a comical way of checking in to make sure you're okay.
Right. We just
Guys
laugh.
would have just laughed at each other flat out. If that would have been one of my buddies, I'd have just started laughing.
Right.
Well,
we,
see, she
we don't
didn't
take
laugh-
it seriously until we see blood or a broken bone.
She didn't laugh because it
If
happens
then.
daily.
If
Like to her, it was a normal occurrence.
so, she probably didn't even look. Right.
She
just
didn't even
heard
turn
it.
around. She was just like, "Bethany, don't die."
Right.
Like, okay.
She heard the noise and then she just was like, "Don't die."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I picture right now, I just picture you making the Family Guy noise that.
Yes. The Mike Lentz theme.
Listen. So,
Yeah, that one.
So it should be you too.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bethany England.
So the number of times honest to God,
Oh,
that it's not CYS. Is it CYS? Children and Youth Services.
Yeah. Or CPS, Child Protective Services.
That, CYS, I think.
Okay.
Right. But came to the school because of me.
Why?
Because I was broken all the time. And to the point where they were like, is something going on here? Because I broke both my arms at the same time.
Like Robert E. Lee.
Like
You try to catch yourself?
Yeah, well, I was in a basketball game. I took a charge, and 2 weeks before that, I had broken my nose. So I had my nose,
Dude.
it was all, and then my arms were broken.
I can see why they had been called.
Yeah, and I feel like they literally went in there, and the principal was like, "Have you met Bethany?" Like, I am.
She's just one of those kids.
She's just one of those kids, and unfortunately, I have become one of those adults too.
Oh, this is when you were a kid.
Yeah.
No, okay,
This
not
has been
as
a
parent.
lifelong situation.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you're clumsy. What is it? Do you have like something going on in your ear or something?
I wish it was something like that, and not that I wear a size 11 shoe.
So you have clown feet.
Yes, I have clown feet, and I miss the steps because I hit them at the top of my foot.
Funny.
And it's like that.
Oh.
That's the thing.
As I recall it, emptied my kazoo.
Well,
I'm having way too much fun with this board.
I know. I hope you don't. I hope you don't get seriously hurt. It is always funny to see somebody fall
I mean, the first time I recorded with you, I fell
out of the chair.
out of the chair into a heater. And caught my sweater on fire.
Did you really catch it on fire?
I singed it, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. You had a big bruise on your side the next day.
Yeah. And he was howling.
Oh, because
My boss at work told him about it.
oh, it was so good. Oh yeah. You were all happy because you were doing That's What She said. And you're like, oh, I'm so excited to do the show. And then
And down she went.
Whoa, right out of the chair.
I mean, right out of it.
Debbie, it was out of the chair.
Yikes.
He's not the only one that's fallen out of the chair on this show, though.
Who else has?
Hasn't Mike? Haven't you fallen out of the chair? Someone else has in the old studio.
Oh, in the old.
And Rich did.
Oh, Ken Rich.
Yeah.
Ken Rich was sitting there. Yes, I have. I have to find the video of that because.
Can we talk about your reaction to me falling? Because
same
he's
as
at
it
the
was-
other side of the table, and this is what he does. I'm going to look right at the camera as if he's looking at me. He went,
Go ahead. Go to number two. Go to number two. Go to number two.
this is what he does. He goes,
It's exactly what I did to Ken.
oh.
Because, I mean, realistically, what's he going to do?
Like, he just looks at me like, whoa.
You have never seen Matt move fast.
Oh, no.
He didn't even
Falling
move
or
fast.
otherwise.
It was sloth-like movement.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he didn't even want to come after me to see if I was okay.
That's the max
That was
speed of
the.
Matt.
I'm
Could
going
not
to
have
kind
given
of tell
less
you.
of
I had
than
to.
that.
I had to. You mean less of a?
Yes.
I had to let nature take its course.
Oh, did you?
You know, I
Did
couldn't.
you, though? Thank you, honey.
Mike Lentz is handing over his Listener of the Year prize to
Can't
Bethany.
get it around it.
That's funny.
It's true, though. It's true. I'm incapable.
Oh, for you.
All right, so
goodness.
let's see. I'm too excited to get to Sandy. Should we
You
just get to
wanna do that
Sandy?
now?
Do we?
We're gonna
do
go
we
to-
save these for then? But
Oh,
they're
she
for
brought
you
you
guys.
gifts.
Those are for. Why don't we save those till after Santy?
Okay.
Okay,
We can do that.
Yeah. Yes.
Because he's got to get to his shanty.
That's
you're
true.
Right. Santy needs to get to the shanty,
So we need him on.
and we need him on here as soon as I can find the bumper music. We will do that. Where do I have them?
Well, I'm going to go get Mrs. Claus so she can get seated because she's not 100% sure how to work all this stuff.
That's true.
That's-
All right,
that's
you go
fair.
get Mrs. Claus,
Okay.
and then we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, after these words. Stick around. Santa Claus is coming. Call in now with the kids.
Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300. To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to welcome the couple that sheds the most joy throughout the year, the jolliest of jolly, the merriest of merry, and Mrs. Claus.
Oh, boy. Oh, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, Mr. Claus, are you able to get in that chair?
I don't know. Matt's a little more svelte than I am. Oh, look at us here.
Oh, this is so nice.
What beautiful music they play.
Oh, yes.
Lord God almighty. Well, hello.
Oh.
How are you, Mrs. Claus?
I'm doing well, and
Well,
you?
that's great. We took a very nice sleigh ride down here to beautiful Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
It's much warmer down here.
Very warm down here compared to there.
Mm-hmm.
Back home in the North Pole.
Yes.
Hello, Colby.
How's it going, Mr. Claus?
Well, I'm a bit out of breath.
I can tell.
Yes.
The 6 steps from the waiting room to the studio really got you.
Well, you know, I was munching on some cookies from the Gettysburg Baking Company.
Oh,
delicious,
Santa.
Delicious. And, well, of course, you know,
nobody likes the skinny scent.
Well, that's true, isn't it?
Yes.
It's hard to bring all that jolly year round, man. You got to have the extra calories, you know?
You're telling me.
Oh, yes. There's a lot that we have to do in a very short amount of time.
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm. Hey, how would you like to see some presents that I have for people here?
Oh, this would be lovely. We asked the elves to put together a special assortment for the Addressing Gettysburg crowd.
Yes, we did. And they forgot. So they pulled some stuff out at the very last minute for everybody. All right, let's see here. Ah, yes. Well, this one here. This is for someone very special.
Catch your breath, man.
You know, they don't tell you when you grow your beard long, it's hard to breathe through the hairs.
It is.
But we're going to do it anyway.
Well, don't worry, dear. After the holiday, we'll trim all of that up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay, enough with the wait. I don't need that music there. Okay. So this one here, it says, to Cameron from Santa.
Oh, very nice.
And it is a book.
Do we know who Cameron is?
No.
Oh.
Geology. Of course we do. We know everything. We're Mr. and Mrs.
Well,
Claus.
I was not imbued with that power.
Well, I'll tell you something. Cameron is a very important person in the Addressing Gettysburg world.
Oh.
He is a West Virginia historian, and he is very serious about becoming a historian.
Yes.
And we want to see him become one. God, is it hot in this thing? All right. The book is Geology and the Gettysburg Campaign.
Oh, Santa.
So there we can learn about rocks.
Oh, very nice.
So unfortunately, Cameron didn't come in tonight, so
he's on the naughty list.
He's working on a book.
Oh, very nice.
He is the consummate historian.
I think Santa, I think what happened is he was scared he's going to have to dress up like you.
He probably thought we were going to hold him down and make him dress like me, but I'm here. We don't need to make him dress up. Okay, now this one here is for tonight's guest. These are beautiful bumper stickers.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. filling in when I
Put
try
that
to
on
catch
the
my
sleigh.
breath. I mean, God damn it. All right, and this is beautiful Gettysburg bumper stickers made by Mike Stretch, who is a very talented graphic artist. So this is for our guest, Kelly.
Santa, I know what you need for Christmas, an inhaler, don't you?
I need an oxygen tank is what I need.
Oh, we left that on the other sleigh.
Oh, we did,
Oh,
didn't we?
yes.
O2 straight to the lungs.
Yes, instead we were breathing in reindeer farts the whole time. All right. Oh, now this one here. Robinson's division at Oak Ridge with Lewis Trott and Peter Carmichael. Look at this beautiful.
We love Lewis Trott.
Yes.
Yes, and Peter Carmichael.
This is a gift for Debbie Jones.
Oh,
Debbie Jones.
Debbie.
Because she didn't save it from when she took the tour. So here it is, Debbie. That's for you. Oh,
Santa, you got to keep it together. We can't lose you on live air, man.
I know. Man, can I get a drink of water? All right, and then this one here is a classic for our friend Michael. 6 questions less. You know, Michael had a rough year. And don't think I don't know this, Michael. I'm Santa Claus.
We were very disturbed to hear of your problem.
I know all, and I see all.
Mm-hmm.
And you should be ashamed. But anyway, I know you had a rough year, and I know you like the Civil War, Michael. And so I got you this antique Civil War Times magazine with a ripped cover. All right, and so that's for Michael.
Poor John C. Calhoun, ripped right down the middle.
I really do think I'm going to pass out. and finally, for oh no, sorry, wait.
It's a good thing you got that built-in cushion in case you fall out of your chair.
Almighty. Can we open the door?
Yes.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, yes.
This is for Cindy. It's the Jocko Willink Battlefield Handbook Guide thing for the program he does here. Okay. And finally, for Colby. Colby, I know you're from Florida, and Florida is near Georgia. And so I got you these Virginia peanuts.
D's nuts.
D's nuts. Here, the peanut shop.
I have to think. I think I got the best gift out of everybody.
I think
you did
so
too.
too.
They're
They're
opened.
mostly gone, though.
They're open and mostly
We
gone.
had to eat on the way.
Are those comments?
What?
Are those comments?
No, they're blisters.
Oh.
All right, now, that's what happens when elves don't do their job during the week.
Does that happen often, Santa?
You know, fortunately, yes. Let me see if I can make room here to breathe through. Okay.
We need to trim that beard.
Yes, we do.
Do you have to crack the whip a lot at the North Pole when it comes to the elves?
Yeah. Oh, they're lazy, lazy, lazy. I hear that we have some children on the phone who want to tell me what they want for Christmas, Mrs.
Oh,
Claus.
how lovely.
Oh, isn't it lovely? Everyone
Yes.
loves to hear what the kids want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Greedy little greasy hens. All right, children. Looks like we have, who do we have? Miles. Miles.
Hi.
Hi, Miles. Tell us, before Santa passes out, what would you like for Christmas, Miles?
Well, for a little while, I've been wanting a 22 rifle.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez.
That-
You'll put your eye out,
good-
kid.
That sounds like a good present right there. dude.
Well, my question is, do I need the cape? Let me take the cape off. I don't think I need the cape. Oh, boy. Helps a little bit. Miles, you want a 22 rifle, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why would you want a 22? Do you have a BB gun?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
so
I
you
do.
want to graduate.
Step up. Yeah,
We're graduating.
You're going
Okay.
up to the 22. And what will you do with this 22?
I just want to get better and maybe get better and go hunting.
Okay.
yeah.
Like for squirrel or varmint?
Yeah.
Reindeer.
Oh, good.
We have some naughty reindeer at the
No.
North Pole.
Oh, no, he's not going to go for the reindeer. Miles is a good boy.
Oh, yes, he's at the top of our list.
Tell me something, Miles. What else would you like for Christmas that won't, I don't know, get me in trouble?
Some Legos, probably.
Oh, the
that's
Lego
easy.
Standard Lego
We
gift.
can do
oh,
Legos.
yes.
Oh, that's easy to do Legos. Okay, well, we'll do that. Miles, tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know somebody named Ramon?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
that's too bad. I thought you were someone else, Miles. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. Miles, hold on. I'm going to put you on the phone with my friend Ramon. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is this Ramon?
Hello?
Hello, Ramon. This is Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
Yes, hello.
By the way, Ramon, do you know what
Oh.
Mrs. Claus's name is?
No, I do not.
Caroline. Caroline Claus.
Ooh. Caroline. I
Yes.
like to say that. That is very fun.
Oh, very nice, Ramon. Now, Ramon, you sound like you're not a child.
No, I am a child at heart, though.
Oh, okay, Ramon.
Very nice.
Very nice. I'm starting to get a little creeped out.
I was going to say, I think we're venturing into dangerous waters here.
Ramon, what would you like for Christmas?
Oh, I do not know. I have not really thought about it.
Ramon, let me ask you a question. What do you
what
do?
fun things do you have in your sack?
Well, let's
We
see.
already emptied
There's
that.
nothing left in my
You
sack.
weren't paying attention.
Yes. My sack is empty, Ramon. Let me ask you a question here, Ramon. What do you know how to give CPR? And can you instruct the people in
yes.
this room on how to do it when Santa passes out?
Oh, yes, very nice, yes. I can totally do that for you.
Thank you, Ramon.
Santa, you're glistening.
Ramon, looks like Ramon just hung up. Miles, I'm sorry about that. Ramon hung up.
I think Miles.
So did Miles.
No, Miles is still there. Miles?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hello, Miles.
Yes.
All right, Miles, tell me else. What else do you want? Legos and a 22. What else?
That's it.
That's all you want.
Could we get you Lego that you can build 22?
I think you stick with the 22. That sounds like a great present.
Yes.
I think we
Slow,
all
steady
should avoid
squeeze, dude.
Miles'
Slow, steady
home
squeeze.
for Christmas.
Yes, Miles, your home sounds like it will be very safe, and I don't want to go sneaking around and jumping
Yes.
down your chimney.
Very much so.
He'll be like Amazon. He'll leave it at the front door.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Miles. Have you ever shot a 22?
Nope.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
What?
The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Okay.
At the top-
Oh, we're calling somebody.
Sorry, I was calling someone.
Santa.
I was calling someone back.
You said you knew how to work all this equipment.
I don't. I thought I did. Miles,
my.
let me ask you a question. What is your favorite podcast?
Addressing Gettysburg.
Wait, why did you have to
very
think
good
about that?
answer.
How many podcasts do you listen to,
He was
Miles?
trying to give you a good, thought over answer there.
Yes.
Really considered it for a minute. And I appreciate that.
Yes.
That's very good. Miles, I want to say thank you, and I must move on to other children. Thank you
Yes.
for calling in, Miles, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, very much.
Okay?
Now, Santa.
Yes, Mrs.
I see
All right,
on
get
the,
off the phone, kid.
On the comments, on the chat,
Yeah.
that there is a dear little girl who is at the head of the good list.
Oh.
Her name is Katie Coca.
Oh, very nice.
And I just wanted to say, Katie, we are watching you, and we are making sure you get a good gift this year.
Yes, Katie. Very good. Let's talk to Brian now. Brian!
Is it Santa?
It is.
And Mrs. Claus, Brian.
I'm very pleased. Thank you so much for taking my call, Santa.
You're very welcome. Brian, you must have gone through puberty already.
Yeah, I'm 12.
Oh, you're
He's
12.
12.
So, yeah.
I haven't heard a
So,
12-year-old like that since 1902.
Yeah, well, I'm corn-fed.
Ah, there you
So,
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
What would you like for
So,
Christmas, young
I-
man?
Well, so I have a guy that I listen to and I look up to. His name's Matt.
Yes.
And he doesn't know how to take compliments. He cringes. He gets real weird about it.
Isn't that stupid?
I
And
feel like we're talking about two different Matts right now.
Yeah.
Kobe, shut up.
So-
He's complimenting him.
no, there's something I've learned in my many years of life up until 12, and that is the art of taking a compliment.
Oh, very
You know,
nice, Brian.
learning to receive it. And also gifts, like when someone gives a gift or some, like, you know, someone wants to buy a cup of coffee, you have to learn to accept sometimes.
Right. Or when
And
someone wants
that's
to become a patron over at patreon.com/addressing Gettysburg.
Yes, that would be a great thing for Matt.
That's exactly right.
So where are you going with this, Brian?
I'm saying if you could just give him a little bit of that receiving spirit,
Oh, all right.
that would be very good.
He's out in the hallway. Hold on. I'll do my special Christmas receiving spirit spell. Mushki, lushki, tushki. Receive the Christmas spirit and stop being a little pain in the ass. Oh, sorry. Pain in the...
You could have just said tushy and rhymed it all.
Oh, see, mushki, tushy, whatever. All right. Now, do you want me to tell him a compliment? Because you know he can't hear it and accept it. So I will brag for him.
Yes, that's a great plan.
Go ahead. What's the compliment?
You know what? I can't think of a thing.
Oh, you son of a... I mean, oh, what a shame.
You know, but when people do come up with fake disingenuous thoughts on the fly, he should receive it better.
Fake disingenuous thoughts. Is that what
that's all.
I don't even know what that means, Brian. Fake disingenuous
Yeah, well, I have a
thought.
12-year-old vocabulary.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You don't know the words that you're saying that are coming out of your mouth. But
Yeah,
Brian,
so I hope... go ahead.
No, I wanted to say thank you much for, on behalf of Matt, for saying whatever you almost said.
It's very sweet of you.
It's very nice of you to almost compliment the man in absentia.
Yes.
Nothing like an almost compliment.
Yes. Really, it really gets the heart fluttering and then makes it stop.
Oh, yes.
For no reason at all.
Oh, I'm surprised your heart hasn't stopped already with all of those cookies you were eating.
My heart is belabored right now.
Yes,
I
I can
how you
tell.
were letting the neck breathe a minute ago.
Yes, I'm trying to let anything breathe. How the hell do I do this? Oh, well, Brian, let me say to you, thank you for the call, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
All right, God bless.
God bless you as well. Oh, God, my back. Well, Mrs. Claus, I think the children have stopped calling. They're terrified. Colby, Matt said that if the children didn't call, you might have some questions for us.
I do have some questions for
Damn
you
it.
guys.
I thought you were out of them and we can go and cool off.
Get out of our...
Yes, but go ahead. Ask a question. Ask away.
So first and foremost, we heard that you wanted Scotch candy canes.
Yes.
Not butterscotch, but
No.
Scotch. Being that you're from a German heritage, we were having this conversation before you came on that
right.
It made more sense that you would be into a beer, an ale or a beer
course,
dip
yes.
candy cane. Why is that?
Well, let me put it to you like this. When you have to fly around the world in 20, well, not even 20, well, yes, in like 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. It helps when you're inebriated.
You've got to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold up there.
Yes.
You think it's cold down here on the ground. Get up in the atmosphere.
Yes.
It's even colder, you see.
From the look of you, it's hot down here.
Well,
right
that's
now.
why I'm dressed in all this fur, and I grow my beard long. But down here, it doesn't translate. It's a real pain in the neck. My sweaty neck. So I would say, oh, wait, hold on now. Colby, hold on. We have another call here. It says, this is Little Germany. I want to talk to Santa. Okay, Little Germany, you're on the phone.
Hey, Santa?
Yes, please take us off speakerphone, little Germany. We can't understand you if you're on speakerphone.
Hello, Santa.
Oh, yes, hello.
Little Germany also sounds like they've been through puberty.
It's a lot of...
Hello, Santa.
Yes, little Germany.
I don't know if this
All right, what the hell is going on here?
Did you press the wrong button, Santa?
No! He's right there. Little Germany. Hello. What kind of a name is Little Germany anyway?
A pseudonym, honey.
Little Germany.
Yes.
Says, this is Little Germany. I want to talk to Santa.
Apparently,
And then he walks
they're
away.
phone shy.
And he leaves. All right, now you were saying, Colby.
I just think Little Germany's a great.
Forget Little Germany.
Man.
What?
Okay, so we were having another debate about, how much you're involved in the day-to-day now that you've been doing this for so long. Or are you kind of hands-off until, that time of the year where you got to take flight with the reindeer?
I'm sorry. Say that again. I was reading something.
Did you pass out for
No,
a
I
moment?
was reading something. Go ahead.
So, how involved are you with the day-to-day, toy making?
Oh, no.
See, we were having this debate before the show,
Yeah,
and I
heard
said
it,
after
yeah.
100,000 years,
Well, I'm not that old, but you're
close.
Well,
He's not as involved as he should be.
let's put it to you like this: no one alive today was with me when I was a young man, or should I say, no one who was with me when I was a young man is alive today.
Well,
that could be taken one or two ways, Mr. Claus.
I didn't do it. God did. Everybody has a shelf life, except for me.
And me.
And you.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Is that another reason for the Scotch Grip Candy
I'm
King?
going on the road. I'm going to do a Henny Youngman act. And I'm trying the take my wife please jokes.
Oh, very nice.
They usually always kill. They usually always kill.
Scamp.
I said, my wife said, hey, how about we go somewhere we've never been before? And I said, okay, how about the kitchen?
Mr. Claus,
How about this
remember
one?
that I cook your meals.
I take my wife everywhere. She keeps coming back. Yeah, Santa Youngman. That's what I'm calling myself. Santa Youngman. It looks like Little Germany. Oh, Little Germany. Okay, sorry. Oh. Little Germany is actually Little Johnny.
Oh, that is different.
I have to take my glove off because for some reason my mouse doesn't work when my glove is on. Okay, now, here we go. Let's talk to Little Germany or Little Johnny. God. Hello, Little Johnny. Oh, sweet jumping Jehoshaphat. All right, forget this phone call thing. This is nonsense. The internet connection's not good.
Oh, no. You also can't get your glove back on.
Oh, and I can't get my glove on. What is happening?
That's your thumb,
I
honey.
gotta tell you, I feel like I'm about to pass out, but let's keep going because patreon.com/addressing Gettysburg. All right, now.
That's a good reason why.
Now,
That's a good reason.
what was your next question, Colby?
Do you ever have to deal with issues of like overpopulation with the reindeers?
Well, I'll tell you something. That Donner, he is what we call a ladies' deer.
Ooh,
Oh, yes, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's a buck-making stud, huh?
Yes.
Well, you could say that, yes. And let me tell you another thing. Ready?
I've been ready.
I am not a fan of the way I am portrayed in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day. Kind of a jerk.
Kind of a jerk. Exactly. I go, Donner.
Because you have redeemed yourself so well on this.
You think with all those years of wisdom, you would have approached that with a softer hand.
Yes.
Yes, you would think, but I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor and I were watching that, dude, and she was like, "Man, this is jacked up. Santa's a little bit of a
He's a jerk.
Yeah,
that's the Morton and Wyatt. Who is it that did that? Who is it?
I feel like they were trying to ruin
You don't know the name.
I don't.
What is the name of the people that
I
did
wrote
the...
him off the list.
Barnum and
Google it.
Bailey?
No. Debbie, I hear you're the show's Googler. Can you Google what's the name of the people that did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? It's not Martin and Wise.
The Coen brothers.
No, it's not the Coen brothers. Anyway, that is their idea. And it was an evil conspiracy to ruin Christmas. That's when the war on Christmas began. Rankin and Bass.
Rankin
Thank
and
you.
Bass, yeah.
Thank you, Rankin and Bass. Yes, that was their horrible conspiracy.
Yes.
To make me look bad.
However.
But here's what's the population is so dumb that they couldn't see that I was a jerk. So they love it. And it's a Christmas classic to this day. And I don't like that because...
They forget about Santa being a jerk and they only focus on
but the point is that I'm
abominable
not...
snowman.
Listen to me. The point is that I'm not a jerk. You understand?
I think you're not making that a true statement by what you're doing
Well,
right
you're
now.
making me into a jerk because I'm trying to say that they portrayed me as a jerk and I'm not a jerk.
As years of marriage, I think I can tell him exactly how you are.
Yes, but you should not tell them that because then they're not going to come to us for... First of all, you know that the governments give us a stipend for making the toys for the stupid children. So please. I mean, the lovely children.
We're all so happy over here.
Yes. All right, let's see. One more time, we're going to try Little Johnny Germantown or whatever his name is. All right, Little Johnny or Little Germany, are you there this time? Oh, God. Little Germany, are you there?
Hello.
Oh, thank God. There he is.
This is wonderful.
Little
Yes,
Germany's here.
hello.
All right, be quick and you better be good. Go. Yes, Little Germany. Oh, my Lord.
Germany's a weird name.
What?
Little Germany seems to be a weird name.
Yes, it is a weird name. Whoever you are, will you just talk?
Well, I'm enjoying the show so much, Santa.
Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. Do you want to say something or do you want to just say you're enjoying the show?
And you want to be a Patreon member.
And, of course, you want to go to patreon.com/addressinggettysburg and help our friend Matt, who is about to die.
Calm your flannel, Santa. Calm your flannel.
Oh, is that an Australian accent I detect?
Damn it, yes.
That might be why it's not working.
That's why there's such a long delay, because you're down under, as they say.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you...
I'm down under, all right.
All right. It's a family show here, all right, you know? Good God in heaven.
I just would like to spread the Christmas cheer.
Go ahead, spread it.
I would just like to say to
Like some
Bethany,
Vegemite.
What?
I'd like to say to Bethany, no matter what Matt says, you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. I will let her know. I will let her
Dude,
know.
he got you to bite on that so hard.
I mean...
And to Colby. Colby has not mentioned he's a Marine enough this episode.
I did make a Marine Corps reference earlier, in all fairness, but only once.
He said not enough.
Oh, not enough.
Not enough.
All right. Well, maybe I'll step it up.
Well,
in the next
I think
segment.
you're forgetting that little Johnny bastard down there in Germany is
yes.
very sarcastic.
And to that guy Matt.
Yes.
To that guy Matt.
He's
Even
outside.
though Santa looks like he's about to have a heart attack.
That's because he is.
And he's from New Jersey. I'll forgive him.
Well, he thanks you. What did he say?
You're from he's from New Jersey.
Oh, Matt is, yes, of course.
Yes.
What else?
I don't
And that's
know.
all I've got, Santa. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Grant, little Johnny, Germany. Thank you for calling in from Australia. I must tell you, it is one of my favorite places to deliver toys to. You know why? Because there's nothing in the middle.
Why?
Because it's nothing in the middle to do it. Nobody cares in the middle.
No, that is true.
Very easy. I just go along the coast, bloop, 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 down the chimneys I go.
Oh, do you remember that year you went surfing?
Oh, yes, I went surfing down there then with all the sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's good thinking, Santa. You're so smart.
Yes, well, I know. And let me tell you something, little Johnny. Someday, you might be smart, too.
When you grow up.
When you grow up. And if you learn how to read.
Yes, one day I wish to be as old as Santa or Matt.
Well,
You've got a long way to go.
Yes, you've got a long way to go.
Both Matt and Santa are ancient.
Little whippersnapper. Thank you.
My mama always said stupid
Okay, guys.
is and stupid does.
Farewell, Santa.
All right, farewell to you. Have a good one, and don't choke on your chicken bone. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time that Santa and Mrs. Claus retired to us.
Really? I thought we were just about halfway through. I thought we should keep you out here a little longer.
We must get to the Santy Shanty.
There's another call.
The Santy Shanty can wait.
Santa always has time for the children, so maybe we'll take this call here. Well, this person. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't let the screener go, so area code 304, you're on the air. Turn your radio down. Jesus.
What kind of 2-bit operation?
What kind of a group of people do we have? Oh, and he hung up. Oh, God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you this.
Has this been the worst example of calling in you've ever seen, Santa?
You know what? It's better than nothing. I'll tell you that. Because you never know what you're going to get. Isn't that right, Forrest Intercom Gump?
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That's right. Get. It was good.
Good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you something. And what I'm about to tell you is very sad, but Mrs. Claus and I have an appointment at the Dobbin House.
Yes.
Not an appointment, a reservation. We're going to eat upstairs. Now, everybody said, no, eat downstairs in the tavern. And we're going to do that tomorrow. We're here for a couple of days. I've canceled my Jimmy Kimmel appearance, and we're going to stay here in Gettysburg because it is such a wonderful town. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy Gettysburg, and I hope you come and visit Gettysburg because it is one of the greatest, biggest small towns in America.
For Pete's sake, they filmed a movie here.
2 movies here.
Yes.
Actually 3 if you count Route 30.
Oh,
Maybe
yes.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like I was saying, please don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
Please stop interrupting me because I'm out of breath.
Listen,
and I'm trying to get to something.
I have spent.
You're out of breath.
It has been thousands of years. I think I can have one moment of your time.
You've had many moments of my time. Do you understand?
You have to soundbite Santa doing the trying to get his breath. You sound like the Santa that's been smoking Marlboro Reds 2 packs a day for the last 100 years, man.
It's that pipe. It's that pipe.
What kind of tobacco you putting in that pipe, Santa?
Oh, we have the worst. It's pine needles. It's the only thing that grows up in the North Pole. Anyway, Gettysburg is such a wonderful town.
I'd imagine it's quite smoky.
Would you shut up and let me finish? Please. Please, you dirty window. Horses. Cows. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Gettysburg is a wonderful town. And if you have never been here, look at the fun that they have here.
Yes.
Right? So you should come down to Gettysburg during the holiday season or any season. There's 4 of them in a year. And then if you think of the commercial seasons, there's so many. There's the Christmas season, there's the Arbor Day season, Valentine's Day season, and of course Flag Day. So you should come down
Don't
for
forget
all
Otterson-Broderson.
Oh, and then Otterson-Broderson season. So you should come down for all of those. But I must thank you all. And to the children of the audience, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. And I hope you get whatever you want, except, 22s. Unless it's okay with your parents. But I don't think it would be okay with your parents. I think I know your daddy, and I don't think he would appreciate that.
Oh, probably.
But maybe he will. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta take the glove off.
Oh, yes.
At least get some kind of heat escaping somewhere in my body. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on behalf of Mrs. Caroline Claus and myself, you notice how I started off with a different accent.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
That's what this low altitude air will do to you, though.
Well, it's my brain is boiling. It's more of a baking process. And
this is different than any other day.
Well, I'm a little dizzier than I normally am.
Maybe it's a brain sous vide.
First of all,
where they cook it in water.
It's more of a brain roux. It's a brain.
A brenu.
A brew.
A brew.
A brin roux.
Brin roux. It's not. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. Matt is standing in the hallway and he's giving me the hurry it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up sign.
I know. I've been trying to keep you honest.
I know. And he said to me, Colby will try to keep you on beyond the amount of fluid you have left to sweat out of your body. And we're at that point now. And so I must say to you all, thank you all for listening. And
Merry Christmas.
Matt and Bethany will be back with the rest of the gang right after these words. God bless us, everyone.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
Was that a ghost? Nah, ghosts aren't real. You're back with Addressing Gettysburg today. Now here's Matt.
Okay. Santa Claus has just left the building, and
He had to leave on a stretcher.
yeah, poor guy. That poor guy. You know, I mean, it's why
You didn't warn him about how warm it gets in here?
We weren't
I didn't even
expecting
think
them in like the equivalent of a plastic bag.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be in his like civilian
helped
clothes.
that I was trying to keep him on air too. I laugh at his pain a little bit.
Colby will be getting coal in his stocking.
100%.
Yeah,
what
that's
I've gotten for the last 10 years, I'm all right with it at this point.
That's a great point. Our guest, Kelly Gormley, is on her way in, and we're going to talk about her book a little bit. We've got, oh my God, so many things to do. We've got a long list of people to thank for this year. We'll get to at the end of the show. And the premiere of a song, and just so many things. So many things.
So much to do, such little amounts of time.
But I got to tell you something. I like
having someone else come in and take over a segment.
Mm-hmm. It gave us some time to like be calm in the back and eat our green M&Ms. And
But you guys standing underneath that misting fan back there? You look a little glistening.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it was we were actually watching it on the phone because I never really get to hear it live as
what
it's
it
happening.
sounds like.
Right.
Mhm.
And so that was interesting. That was very interesting there. And then so it looks like people really liked Santa Claus in the comments section there. Oh, it looks like Ramon had a fan. Unfortunately, Ramon cut off there. Apparently, Ramon was calling from the North Pole. And so he didn't have good service up there.
That happens.
Yeah.
It does indeed.
And let's see, does Santa need to go to the ER? Yeah, Amanda, I think he did. He was kind of looking, he was very sweaty as he was walking out and very flushed in the face.
Like I was a little worried.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have actually given to his demands for all the cookies.
Yes. That was the problem there, all that butter.
Yeah. I mean, his arteries are probably completely clogged.
Yeah, Marcia says that was off the rails. Hope Santa is okay. We think he's okay. The ambulance came and picked him up and is taking him to, Debbie, go ahead, let the, her to, taking him to the ER.
You can do it, dude.
Yeah, I got it. All right, so we've got Kelly coming in here, Kelly Gormley, and she is the author of this book here, Cease Firing, Life and Death at the Swope Banner. Hello, Kelly. Have a seat. Put those headphones on there. Don't be nervous. We have a lot of we have fun in here. As you can see, we're a group of idiots. So don't worry about that. Put those on, and then other way around there. So you want the microphone at your mouth there.
Actually, why don't I?
Oh, you could leave Santa hat on.
I'll put the hat on top.
Put it on top.
Oh,
of
there you go.
Look
There
at
you
her.
go. There you go.
It up.
All right.
Yeah.
There you are. And you got the red shirt on, so you're all ready for Christmas.
Yep. Peace, love, and joy.
Well, there you go. Kelly, you are from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
How did you come to write a book about the
Gettysburg.
Swope Manor?
I'll tell you in a minute, but first, can I tell you a really quick story?
Sure.
Okay. This is funny. I have this incredible memory about a trip I took to Gettysburg many years ago, and I'm just struggling to remember the details, but I ate a whole bunch of candy. It was like toffee bars, but oh,
Mr. Ed?
now I remember it was 407 years ago. Get it?
That's
but I'm
okay. That well.
Well, I actually spent Halloween at the Swope Manor once, and I made a Halloween costume to that effect. I bought 4 score candy bars and I pasted them like in a square on a cereal box I wore around my neck, and then I wrote in the middle the year -7, so it was like 7 years before. Okay, so
Right.
anyways, yeah,
Score are delicious, by the way.
they are good. Yeah.
And not as very popular as they should be,
Yeah.
right? I think Score and Heath are 2 of my favorites.
Yes.
Oh, I love
Right?
some Heath.
Heath,
man.
Heath was my dad's favorite too.
Was it?
I love toffee.
Yeah. Oh, me too. So good.
Okay, so
All
now,
right. So
now
what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Now you got
now-
me thinking about candy bars.
now that I got my wreck with the joke out of the way. Okay, so you wanted to ask me how I.
How did you get to writing this book here about the Swope Manor?
One of those serendipitous things in life that just seem to be meant to be.
Okay.
I was at the time a reporter with the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, where I worked for 13 years. And it was very well known that I'm obsessed with Gettysburg. It's like
You're in the right crowd.
Yeah. If you say Kelly Gormley, you typically think, oh yeah, the one with the jokes, the one who's really into journalism, and the one who's obsessed with Gettysburg. Those are 3 things mainly. And we had heard that a Western Pennsylvania couple, the Jumbas, John and Lori Jumba, had bought a really elegant bed and breakfast in Gettysburg that had opened. And we were always looking for a local connection to a story. And since the owners lived in Western Pennsylvania, then it gave us a reason to do a story. And the editor, knowing me, she said, "Hey, Kelly, I've got a Gettysburg story for you." I said, "Well, heck yeah." So I did a story just talking about the inn, and then the history to it sounded fascinating. And prior to discovering the Swope, I was a very a very tight budget traveler. I just stayed at the cheapest hotel I could find usually, just as long as I could get to Gettysburg as often as I could.
Yeah.
But
I used to do that too.
yeah. But this
But
time,
back then, it was like a cheap hotel was like $45 a night,
yeah.
right?
Well,
When I was coming, that's when they were.
my first trip here was 2003, and I moved to Pittsburgh from Texas in late 2002. So yeah.
Yeah, so that was around the time. I would stay at like Three Crowns or the Carlton.
Yes.
And it was like 48, 49, 45 bucks a night.
Yeah.
On a weekday, though.
Something like that. Yeah. So after doing this story on the Swope Manor, I knew I have to check this place out and splurge a little bit. And I fell in love with the place. And as I heard more about the history, the writer in me started getting really excited.
Okay.
And the owners had done a lot of research. We had many papers from the Adams County Historical Society, and what I was seeing was two distinct stories about the Civil War that converged under this roof, which was this house. So you had the history of the house, but then you have two sides and two worlds that really collided here. The first world it's the civilian story. It's the Swope family. Mm-hmm. The patriarch was George Swope, born in 1801. He was a big wig in town. He was the wealthiest person in Gettysburg at the time of the Civil War in 1863. He was president of the bank, which was called at one time the Bank of Gettysburg, and at another time Gettysburg National Bank. So he was a very prominent citizen. They were very wealthy. His son, John Swope, became a doctor, but he didn't practice medicine for long. He actually went into politics later. Oh, and he also served as a bank president for a while, and then
as you do,
he became a congressman. I heard the story when I stayed there that the Swope family, at least a few members, not George Swope. We believe he had left town once the news of the invading Confederates came, because you wanted to protect the money in the bank. They didn't have electronic banking back then, and there were plundering Confederates. So, but we heard that members of the Swope family were in their parlor on July 1st, 1863, when the Union flank buckled, and you see soldiers fleeing through town.
Yeah,
and I started thinking, what was that like for them? I mean, it can't be good if you're being invaded by what essentially was a foreign power at the time, and then you see your soldiers running for their life.
It's scary.
Right now, as we know, I mean, the Union definitely lost the first day battle, but they won the overall battle by the third day. But
the Swopes didn't know that.
Right. We know that in retrospect. So I wanted to research this family, but the most poignant part is this man on the cover. This is Lieutenant William Henry Pullman. He was a soldier from the 59th New York, and this is, again, it is the most moving part of the story. And there are countless stories out there about soldiers who lost their lives in the Civil War, but Lieutenant Pullman is someone we can really get to know on a personal level, because largely because of the letters he wrote, and somebody many years ago, maybe a century ago, wrote a book that included information about Lieutenant Pullman, and somebody had transcribed his letters.
Oh, that's nice.
And the letters are just amazing. He was a very talented writer. He served in many battles in the Civil War, and he has a very elaborate gravestone at Albany Rural Cemetery, upstate New York, which is where he was from. And inscribed on the tombstone, it mentions a lot of the battles he was in, like Antietam, Chancellorsville, and also the title of the book, "Cease Firing." Those were his last words, and it was so moving to me. Not only because we got to know him so well through his letters, but he has an unusual background. He was actually born in Borneo.
Oh.
Probably the only Civil War soldier that was born on the island of Borneo. But but his parents were Americans, but they were Christian missionaries, and both of his parents, when he was young, had died. So he and his sister were sent back to Albany to be raised by a family, and he and his sister were very close. Probably the most tear-jerking part of this book is the letter transcribed from his sister named Mary Pullman, who talks about the grief when her brother died, and it is just heartbreaking. You can sense the spirit of this woman just speaking across a century and a half, and it's just, I mean, and as a writer, I do notice people were rather eloquent back then. In a way they are not today. Unless they're professional writers.
Right.
Yeah, the average person wrote a lot better than they do today. So I just thought that was a very poignant story. To me, Willie Pullman puts a human face on so many men. I mean, he was in the prime of his life. He was 19 years old, and he had started studying at Rutgers University. He wanted to go into the family business and become a missionary. And he went to Rutgers, New Jersey, and then the election of 1860 happened, and the secession crisis happened. And in 1861, he decided to leave college and go fight for his adopted country. And at first he was in the 1st New Jersey Regiment, I believe. He switched around a few times and ended up in the 59th New York. But I really like to personalize people.
Yeah.
And if you read my book, you'll see I have a very personal narrating style. I'm kind of like the narrator in Our Town. I'm like there saying, and over here you'll see, and then this happened, and what do you think about this? And so I'm very into narrating the story, but I really like to bring to life people like Lieutenant Pullman, like George Swope, because so often we think of them as historical figures, and they are, and they lived in a very, very different world than we do. So in some ways they seem almost like it's just another.
Yeah. Oh, you lost Santa's hat.
Yeah. Oh no.
Sorry, keep going.
Is Santa still in the studio? I don't.
He left.
Oh, is he back?
We put him in the ambulance.
Oh, okay. So what was I saying? Yes. I like to really personalize them because, again, even though they lived in a completely different time than we do, they're more than just historical figures. They are human beings, and human nature over time never changes.
Right.
Times change, society changes, but human nature never
we
does.
react the same way.
Right. And so what I wanted to do was take readers and put them in the shoes of Lieutenant Pullman, of Mary Pullman, of Mrs. Swope, seeing the soldiers defending her state, running through town, of Willie Pullman. And the story of a Willie, he was in many battles, and he was a very serious soldier, very very diehard Unionist. He you can tell from his letters he took a really dim view of traitors, secession as they called them, secessionists, or anyone who left the Union Army. He was very diehard, and again, humanizing it. Okay, I was in college in the 1990s. It was a very different time. But when I was 19, sacrifice was not on my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I had just gotten out. I'd gotten out of high school. I wanted to party, to embrace young adulthood. So
sacrifice was getting up early for class.
Exactly. So and now at the time, we know now how the Civil War went. It was the most devastating war ever in our country's history. And yet at the time, I think most people thought it would be very short and quick. And, maybe Willie at the time was thinking, okay, I'll just, I'll be back in a few weeks.
Yeah.
This
won't take long.
Yeah. Let's go kick the rebels' butts and then I'll be back. I mean, I don't think anyone could have known just how bad it was. But anyways, Willie was in the 59th New York. You can see the memorial if you go to the high water mark on Cemetery Ridge. The high water mark and reading the Iron Book, and you're at the copse of trees, just walk a little bit to the left and a little farther down. There's a picture
right on the wall there.
Yep, there's a picture of it in my book. It's the 59th New York Monument. It has a pyramid on top.
Yes.
And so he and his regiment were there. They were defending Pickett's charge. They were immediately opposite a Georgia regiment, and Willie first was wounded in the left arm, and his men were saying, get down, Lieutenant, get down, sir. You're wounded, and he said, nope, not while I have my sword arm left. Oh, wait, I may have said that wrong. Was it the right arm or the left arm first? See, the thing is, authors sometimes have to reread
I think
their
you
own
would draw
books.
with your right. Was it the sword on the left side?
Yeah, I believe the wound start. Yeah. See, I wrote this actually a
Sword's
decade
on the
ago.
left side.
so I had to side for a while until I could get a publishing venture started. But yeah, he said, not while I have my sword arm left. So he stayed up there fighting, and then his other arm was wounded.
Jeez.
And this was a very badly wounded man. Again, whether you are living in 2023 or in 1863, if you've been shot twice, you're bleeding very heavily.
Sure.
And
we bled the same way then as we do now.
Exactly. Yeah. The human body has not changed. And he somehow walked after the battle about a mile to the field hospital. And if there were a place that you could call hell on earth, I think one of them would be a Civil War hospital. A tent hospital, amputations. It's a horrible place.
Yeah.
And what happened was somebody, we're not sure really who, but somebody arranged for him to be moved to the Swope Manor after a few days at the hospital. And we think that probably happened because he was an officer. And they may have just wanted him to have better quarters, but also John Swope was a physician, so we think those two factors happened, and we know he was taken there because there was a nurse named Eliza Farnham, and she was quite fond of a Willie. He made an impression on her at the hospital, and when he disappeared, I think she was wondering what had happened to him.
Yeah.
And we also have a letter from her in the book, and really that's how you piece history together. It's what people wrote, because you can't talk to anyone who was there now. They're long gone. There aren't even third-hand sources now. All you can go by is what was written down, and to me it was just the most fascinating emotional archaeology dig, just digging and digging, finding different sources and finding out what people wrote. And again, so many men died in that war, but Willie's story makes it personal, not just because of his letters and what we know about him and his family's letters, but to me, I saw a bit of a Titanic story in here. And what I mean by that is you remember in the movie the Rose and Jack, that part was fiction, but remember how many close calls they had with death.
Yeah.
20 million, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And Jack made it to the very end and he still died. And there's something about,
I would argue she killed him.
yeah, that's a controversial issue, but the point is there seems to be something extra tragic and wrong about someone dying when they made it so far.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, by written accounts, we know from Mary's letter that Willie was actually doing fairly well. He was healing, and someone said in the letter that he was as cheerful as a cricket on the hearth. Now that's a very charming.
Sounds very warm.
Yeah, that's a very charming dated expression. But he was in good spirits. But something happened. It was about 2.5 weeks after the battle. Suddenly there was a secondary hemorrhage that set in and an infection, and he became delirious.
Uh-oh.
And in those final moments when he was dying, he thought he was back on the field with his men. And what was said in Mary Pullman's letter, and this is what she heard from someone at the Swope House, was that at some point, it was about maybe 10 or 11 in the morning, at some point he sat up in his bed and he said, "Cease firing," and then he fell back and he was gone.
Don't you kind of wish that that's what happens when you're having your last moments, is you don't realize you think you're somewhere else, doing something else.
So he thought he was back on the field giving orders, and when I heard "cease firing," it just gave me chills, and I said, that's the title of the book.
Yeah.
But I kind of skipped a step there. How did I get the idea to write the book? Well, again, I heard the Willie Pullman story. I heard the Swope family story. and just the story of this house. And what got me really excited as a writer is that this was virgin territory.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about...
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. The thing about writing about Gettysburg, it's been written about over and over again. It's been... I mean, there are thousands of books, magazine articles, newspaper articles. My favorite editor and mentor of all time said, "You need to zig where others zag."
Yep.
Or zag where others zig. Nobody had written about this, and I felt like I was sitting on a gold mine. And then, in the moment that confirmed that this was serendipity, I learned that William Henry Pullman was born on January 10th, as was I. Just
how cute was that?
Just 131 years early.
He shares the same name as the famous actor, Bill Pullman.
Right. I didn't think of that because it's spelled
Spaceballs.
but right.
He can't play him, though. Isn't Bill Pullman gone?
No, you're thinking of Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
Bill
that's Bill
Paxton's
Paxton.
gone.
He was on.
You should get Bill Paxton to play Bill Pullman.
I was going to say get
Bill Pullman to play. Well, but he's too old now. He's too old to play Bill
he's
Pullman.
never going to be too old.
Bill is too old to play Will.
Okay. So and this whole process, I came out to Gettysburg many times. I'll take any tax deductible excuse.
Right.
Even if I can't find a tax deductible reason, I come here as often as possible. I went to grave sites. I take the readers to the grave sites of Willie Pullman, of the Swopes. They're over in Evergreen Cemetery.
Nice.
Yep. Nice tombstones too.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well, they had some money. And you can
They
tell
did.
that by looking
Look
at
at
the
their
house
house.
today.
Yes.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that the house, the first one was built in 1836. Now, that was after 1793 when it was a log cabin. That was actually used as the town jail at one time.
Really?
But the actual house, the first one was built in 1836. You'll notice the Swope has kind of a peculiar address. It's 58-60 York Street.
Yeah.
The reason is it was actually two separate addresses. The original one was George Swope's side, and then we believe that there was one like in row house style built right next to him, and that was John Swope. Okay. And at some point during renovations, again, I need to review some of the details. Yeah. But at some point, a wall was taken out, and they were merged into one home,
house.
and that's why there's two parlors in there. You walk in, there's one off to the left and one to the right. So.
Yeah. All right. That makes, because I've never been in it, but again, I've looked in the windows.
Yeah.
I accidentally was in the Swope
How
Manor.
are you accidentally in
How'd
there?
you accidentally go?
Well, I was there to drop off rack cards for the foundation.
Okay.
This is going to get me in trouble, but
Oh,
I was there
The
to drop
Gettysburg
off.
Foundation.
Yeah. That's where I work.
I'm a member.
Oh, see?
A
I knew you
supporter.
were a good person.
Absolutely.
So I said, I'm going to go drop off these rack cards. And it said, walk in, but they meant for guests.
Oh,
Not for
okay.
random human Bethany. And I walked in and wandered around going, hello. And no one was there.
Were you really yelling hello?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Bethany.
I know. God. But it's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I mean, like,
It's gorge.
if you want to invite me to come stay.
I've been wanting to get a tour. I'd love to talk about it.
Wouldn't that be a great idea?
Yeah.
What?
Well, getting a tour of the place, maybe a night to stay in the middle of winter.
You should. It's a wonderful place to stay. It feels like a home away from home for me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Yeah, and I very often stay in the Lieutenant Pullman chamber.
That's cool.
Yeah, this photo actually. We got this photo from the New York State Military Museum. There's a framed one on the dresser in that room, and people often ask me, "Is that the room where Lieutenant Pullman died?" No, it's on the third floor. It doesn't make any sense that a wounded man would have been taken up 3 flights of steps to what was the attic at the time. But they named a room in his honor, and I sure get my exercise when I stay.
Yeah, I bet you do.
There. But
now, these letters, was he mostly writing to his sister?
Mostly his sister. There was an incident or two where I believe it was to a cousin.
Okay.
I did look in here to see if there was anything written around Christmas time and if he mentioned Christmas. There is one from Fairfax Seminary, December 11th, 1861. He does not mention anything about the holidays, though. And then he has one on New Year's Day, 1862.
And does he mention the new year?
No.
No?
Actually, he does not, no.
It's just, hey, it's another day. I guess if you're in the Army and there's all that stuff happening around you, it is just another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what about it?
Sad, though. It's really sad.
Well, I wish we had more time for you today, but maybe you can come back and we could do a long form interview about this.
Yes,
are you here often?
I hope to be back actually in just a month for my birthday.
Oh, perfect.
I spent many birthdays at the Swope with my honorary ancestor.
Birthday buddy.
Yeah,
right.
Willie Pullman.
Well, all right. So then we'll have Dave set up something when you come back for that, and then we'll have you in for a long one that we'll put on Patreon, and everybody can hear that.
Do that one at the Swope.
And
that would be great if we could actually get in there to do that.
That would be wonderful.
Do you know the owners? I'm sure you do.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in purchasing the book, if you're in Gettysburg, you can buy one from the inn. You can also buy one from me. And you would have to go to my website, which is kellybgormley.com.
Now you spell Kelly, Kellie.
Yes. B as in boy.
As in boy. Gormley is Gormly.
Yes. You can go to my website and shoot me an email. The gift shop at Albany Rural Cemetery also sells it, but I don't think we have listeners in Albany.
Oh,
but
you never know?
Yeah, if you're in Albany,
No, I have some in Albany.
You can go buy one there. But thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And again, I'm sorry for the mix up today, but I'm glad we got you in.
I'm in the spirit. I roll with the punches.
And I hope you weren't like, oh my God, these people are idiots. Why didn't they do me first?
Not at all.
Because I would have been thinking the same thing. If I were in your position.
This is really
not
cool.
these
Not at
people.
all.
We're talking about Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, not me. And we were taking a rest.
Look at those tombstones.
Yeah, those are
They're
nice.
very elegant.
Yeah.
And
you can see them when you go to Evergreen Cemetery.
Thanks for laughing at my score toffee joke.
We got it.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
We're
funny.
cool like that.
See, if you know me, you always sense when it's coming. Like, I remember you were looking at me like, okay, and why are you telling me
I'm waiting. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, why are you telling me about a bunch of candy you ate?
Well, also, I wasn't in interview mode yet because I have such empathy for Santa Claus watching him struggle to breathe through his beard
still
that
having trouble.
I was almost deprived of oxygen just watching him. So
Wow.
That's called method acting.
yeah, well, it's called empathy. I'm a true empath.
Good.
I felt every painful
don't
breath he
believe a
took.
word he says.
No, don't believe anything I say.
Well,
Kelly,
I
believe
will-
this. Thank you very much, Kelly, and I appreciate it. And good luck with the book.
Thank you so much.
I hope it helps. And then this will be good too when you come back because then I can read it between now and then, and I can ask you some informed questions.
Sure, and I'll talk to the Swope about.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. And if not, it's no big deal. We could do it right here.
Okay.
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 All right, great.
Wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Kelly.
much for
Thank
having
You're
me.
very
and
welcome.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. All right. Great. Now, now what we do is we got a whole bunch of stuff to do. Yeah. I mean, if you need to go, you can go. Do you need to go, or
You can stay and comment.
you can say a comment, or you can?
I don't have to go.
Okay. Good. There you go. All right. So let's do this. There. Let's get Christmas stuff out of the way, and then we'll get to the news. Okay. So Debbie, you say you have some gifts here.
Yep.
So all right, what do you want to do with the gifts? You have a seat there.
All right.
Okay. You guys speaking in the microphone. Don't forget that.
I know. I usually have one, over here and not in front of me. All right. To be fair, this is the ridiculous one for you.
And it goes to the ridiculous guy.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
But
all right.
you will giggle when you see it.
Do I open it now or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
All right,
like
here
the
we go.
peanuts wrapping paper. That's
Thank you.
Here we go, Colby. I'm going to open it. Ah, delicious. I love lemon.
No.
Oh.
Look on the other side.
Is that a plastic lemon?
Stonewall Jackson House. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is, technically it's a stress ball. Yes,
Oh,
when I
nice.
bought it, I was fully well aware of all of the innuendos he could make about squeezing lemons. And I knew the 5-year-old in a grown man's body would enjoy that.
Honestly, not until you said that did I think of that. So,
of course, I would give you the suggestion.
No, but thank you. I could use a
But I
stress
could totally
lemon.
see you using it here.
Yeah, I'll leave it here and I'll use it. And I like that too. It's a clever little joke because Stonewall liked to suck lemons, supposedly. Allegedly.
I visited the Stonewall Jackson house on my way home from Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
And also stopped at the cemetery. Apparently, it is a thing to throw lemons over the iron rail onto his grave.
Is that true?
Totally true. I have photographic
Stonewall
evidence.
Jackson. That must stink.
Why?
Because he ate
liked
lemons.
lemons.
He liked lemons.
He loved lemonade, supposedly. So
He'd hold one hand in the air.
Yep.
he was an interesting human.
Because he thought his blood would sour. Or...
He
To
believed in a
balance
lot
the
of
blood,
strange legends.
he'd hold his hand.
Yeah.
But I also heard that's a lot of hooey. That's like legend.
I do think he was an eccentric guy.
Well, he was.
He was.
But yeah, I don't know about. I mean, some of those sound like they could have been made up after.
I agree.
He liked old wives' tales.
I do know.
Yeah,
that
and old wives.
consisted of like just plain stale bread and water.
Yeah, he had
Much
a very
all he ate.
bland diet.
Yeah.
Which is probably good. I should have that, but I like flavor. All right, go ahead, Debbie. What else
All
you
right.
got? We got a lot
This
of
other one here. This is slightly more serious.
Oh, these are all for me?
Not all for
Oh,
you. This one's for
why?
Bethany.
Why aren't they all for me? I'm just kidding.
Wow.
All right, here we go. We're opening gift number. Hit list. One clue. Oh, no.
I thought you could have some fun with that, either keeping it here in the studio
Right.
or.
Oh, yeah, we could have
either
fun with
way.
this for sure. Thank you.
Exactly. You're welcome.
Hit list, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
One clue, 6 answers, 30 seedlings. Oh, seconds. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. I was trying to read on the monitor.
Essentially, the idea is there are 6 items on the list that your clue is they all have one thing in common.
Yeah.
Like the example they give on the back is TV cats. And so there are 6
Right, cartoon cats.
cartoon cats.
Tom
There are
and Jerry.
6
Like Tom?
listed, and
Yep.
the other people are supposed to shout out answers, but you only get a point if that character is on the list.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, nice.
So.
Yeah, we can have fun with this. All
I
right.
thought so.
All right, and then
All right, Bethany, are you ready?
Okay. Just stand like this.
oh, she's crying, ladies and gentlemen.
She's not.
So
She's laughing.
Oh, she's laughing. We're vomiting.
I thought this would be severely entertaining for you to keep here.
I saw
It's
insult.
a Shakespearean insult mug.
Oh.
I figured, whenever Matt annoys you, you have a ready-made list of things to call him.
It's a mug?
It's a mug.
So you can have it here to drink water
Exactly.
from and everything, and then you can insult me.
Oh my god, I love it. Because clod of wayward moral.
A clod of wayward marl. Morale or marl?
Marl is
Marl.
what it says.
Yeah.
But it meant.
And nobody knows what it means, so that you could be insulted in.
And not know why.
Thou art a boil, a plague sore.
Nice. Nice. Merry Christmas to you, too. All right.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Is that not the best?
All right, great, Deb. Where'd you find that?
That and the game were from Nerd Herd.
Nerd Herd here in Gettysburg on York Street.
That's right by the swope.
That's right by the smoke. Yes, it is.
Yeah, actually, Nerd Herd is where the bank was.
Yes.
That's like the same spot where the George
Bank.
Gettysburg National Bank stood.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a fantastic little store. Like, I could come out with half the stuff that's in there. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah, it is a cool little place. All right, so let's see. We got to move on to some other things here before news. Now, I want to tell everybody, and if our buddy Cam is watching, weeks ago, ladies and gents, we asked Cameron to play Santa Claus because I wasn't sure I was able to get the real Santy.
Uh-huh.
And luckily I was able to get the real Santy, but I didn't know that was for sure, right?
Mm-hmm. So we were gonna use Cam instead.
So we were gonna see if Cam would do it, and Cam got offended, and I was like, Cam, first of all, it would be great because you have a Southern accent.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody thinks of Santa Claus with a Southern accent.
No.
That's the only reason why
Yeah.
I wanted you to be Santa. But he didn't want to do it. He was very adamant about not doing it. And so Colby, there's a video above camera one. Don't play it yet, but when I play the song, it's got the lyrics on it, so you can hear it. So I was like, I had it all. If he had said yes, I had this whole thing planned out in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
An introductory song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yes. To introduce Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, you know what? I like Cameron. He's a funny kid. He's one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. He truly is like one of the sweetest, most genuine people you'll ever meet. Try to get him to curse. You're not going to do it. You cannot get the kid to curse. He is that genuine and innocent. Yeah. Okay. I look at him like a little brother, or
I know
or like a little cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I like to poke and prod and tease him every once in a while. But it's all out of love. It's all out of love.
Makes total sense.
I actually admire the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I really truly do. Why do I admire him? You say?
Mm-hmm. Why, Matt?
I don't know, but I do.
But I do.
Do I have to have a reason?
No, not necessarily.
Actually, I have a few reasons.
Oh, okay.
His enthusiasm.
For everything.
Enthusiasm.
For
literally
not everything. His enthusiasm for what he's enthusiastic about.
Except for dressing as Santa Claus. He was not enthusiastic.
He did not like that idea at all.
He was anti-dressing as Santa Claus.
No.
Exactly. He was very adamant about not doing it. In fact, I think I have a montage of him saying no to it. Here we go.
I'm not dressing as Santa Claus. No. That's definitely no way I'm dressing up as Santa Claus. Yes.
Okay.
So
and then
Kelly doesn't know who Cameron is.
So Cameron is a friend of ours. He's like a regular on the show, and he's
from West Virginia.
He's from West Virginia.
So he has quite the accent.
And I was trying to get him to come in here tonight, but he's working on a book, and so he didn't want to break his. But anyway, everybody loves Cam. Everybody loves Cam, and
he's famous.
He's famous, thanks to me, and he is
so humble.
He loves Gettysburg history. His dream is to work here in Gettysburg for the Park Service. He's a part-time ranger, and he's gotten a lot of jobs, throughout the Park Service and everything. And he's getting closer. I think I could feel it in my bones. He's getting closer to getting something here. But you just like with anything else, you got to wait, and it frustrates him. And I know the feeling. I know the frustration. I know the feeling. I feel bad for him. But anyway, that's Cam. So he's funny, and he should have been Santa. But again, no offense, Mr. Claus. I know you're watching from the ER right now, but we got the real Santa, so kind of better. But anyway, I had this idea, and I really wanted to do it, and I had a song, an intro song for him, and everything all worked out.
I know you did, and I feel bad.
So I said, you know what? Fine, he's not going to do it. I'm still going to do the song.
I think you should. You worked hard on it.
I did it.
Yeah, out of love.
It's called Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Now, Colby, we're going to try to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Then you're going to play that video, and I'm going to play the music and see if they sync up, because the music is not on the video. I'm playing the music here so that it's recorded.
I was thinking to myself, that would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't be able to hear it.
Oh, okay, true.
Right, so it's going to work like that. All right, so, Cam, this is my tribute to you, and I hope you take it as such. Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus is coming to town. And I want to thank Mike Bariski. Actually, hold on a second. I want to thank Mike Bariski for helping me with Civil War Tees. From Civil War Tees, he helped me write this and record it. He's the first voice you're going to hear. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is brought to you by Cameron Mallow. Cameron Mallow is a rising star in the public history field. He specializes in delivering talks about the loyal West Virginians and the Swamp Dragons. Now is your chance to book Cameron to come and talk to your roundtable, book club, bachelor party, or bikini waxing. To book Cameron, shoot an email to cammallowspeaker@gmail.com. That's CAMMALLOW speaker@gmail.com. That is legit, ladies and gentlemen. He can come out and he can talk about West Virginia history and Swamp Dragons and all that stuff. And he puts on a good talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is finally. The world premiere of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Colby, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Matthew, let's go again. Santa Claus, take 37.
Getting tired.
I'm not dressing as Santa Claus. No. That's definitely no way I'm dressing up as Santa Claus. Yes.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
No.
He's making a list, misspelling names twice. Gonna pull pranks, whatever the price. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Osderspin, Brodesson.
His stories get you sleeping.
There's a swamp dragon.
His haze scare you awake.
Bonfire.
He's West Virginia's proudest son, and he's damn good with a rake.
Beverly, West Virginia.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah!
They had cookies, free cookies. No! I tried to stop find a wheelbarrow. Well, I'm not a baby neither. Now, this is just a hypothesis. This is just an educated guess. Seems like as soon as I start speaking, everybody's pulling their recorders or video cameras out.
The scouts at Daniel Lady will have a jubilee. He's gonna build a fake cannon out of last year's Christmas tree.
Shoot, no, I didn't do that.
With toy bayonets and Civil War drums, he Rudy toots and rummy tum tums.
That's not Latin.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah! With Dale Earnhardt dolls, unopened and new, llamas and boats and wheelbarrows too. Santa Claus is coming. I mean that mountain man with the scraggly beard. He's coming to town. Oh, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Don't ever go on America Got Talent. You won't make it.
That's our buddy Cam Al. I wish he was here to do that with us, but he didn't come in, and so that is it there. Okay, so I think then that means it's time for you.
Yeah, but
serious or funny?
Funny.
Oh, okay. You're afraid of the serious.
I'm not
aren't you?
afraid of the serious. There's just like no news right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like super boring.
All right. Oops, wrong one.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. With AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling.
Sidewalk conditions and weekend events and cars crashing into buildings. Whatever is happening, Bethany's got it and brings it all to you. 'Cause it's Bethany's news, Bethany's news, Bethany's news. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Let's
All right, it's Bethany's
Where did this
news.
idea come from?
And Bethany's News is brought to you today by the Andrew Carnegie Free Library in Carnegie, Pennsylvania. See how I did it two different ways there?
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. It's they're thrilled to announce the return of its annual Civil War Symposium on April 13th, 2024. Riding the Raid, Paradigms and Personalities of the Civil War Raids will feature 5 dynamic historians, including Matt Atkinson, Eric Wittenberg, Abby Smithmeyer, Rob Orison, and Phil Greenwalt. Tickets are only $65, including lunch, raffles, book sales, and tours of the National Treasure Captain Thomas S.B. Grand Army of the Republic Post. And I've been there. It's beautiful.
Carnegie, that's my area.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Pittsburgh.
This symposium does sell out every year and limited seats remain. So don't want to reserve your seat. So don't wait is what you meant to say there, John Eric. Don't wait to reserve your seat. For more information and to purchase tickets, please visit our website at www.carnegie Carnegie.org.
That's actually a controversial thing in Pittsburgh, but supposedly, I mean, I always thought it was Carnegie.
That's what most real Americans do.
Well, yeah, that's the common pronunciation, but in Pittsburgh, the consensus is that the proper way is Carnegie.
Yeah,
Carnegie.
they just want to be different than the rest of the country. It's Carnegie.
Listen, Western
I prefer
Pennsylvania
Carnegie
is the only
but
place.
Yeah, it's
Carnegie.
It's the only place in the world that all people should be from.
And I think.
Are you from there too?
I'm from
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Clarion.
Okay.
In the middle of nowhere.
Anyway, John Eric told me that once he put the word out there that I was not invited to be a speaker, tickets started selling quickly. So make sure you get a hold of him as soon as you possibly can. And I think, do we also have Intercom Gump on the line with us today? Or is he going to join us during the news?
He's on standby.
He's on
If anything
standby.
comes up, he feels like coming
Very good.
on. You know, he's kind of shy.
That's perfect.
That's true. He doesn't seek the limelight.
I thought I heard Forrest Gump earlier.
Yeah, you did.
You heard something.
You
All
heard
right.
Copyright reasons, he's Intercom Gump, though.
Yeah, right.
Got a box of chocolates for me?
Yeah, right.
Go ahead there, Beth.
So a couple things from the national park announced through our friend Jason Martz. Education events for special learners at the Gettysburg National Military Park. There are going to be a couple sensory-friendly days throughout the park this year, this winter. The first one being on Saturday, January 13th. There's going to be a sensory-friendly day, so they're going to have everything, all the audio turned off, the lights up in the cyclorama. Just basically a nice, quiet way to go through so it's not as overwhelming for those of our guests that might need some, extra sensory-friendly times. So there's a sensory-friendly day on January 13th.
That's like if you're sensitive to certain things.
Sound and lights and things like that.
Right.
Also, another one on February 10th. The other things they are announcing is on January 20th, Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. You can join the Army with Company K, and this is a hearing impaired event. So you can talk about the Company K of the 1st Pennsylvania Volunteers and join the Army, but specifically made for people with hearing disabilities and impairment. The next one is January 27th from 9 to 11 a.m. Lincoln at Gettysburg for the visually impaired. So there will be a tour specifically for that. You can tour the David Wills house and kind of do a little bit more hands-on history.
All right.
The next thing that they also announced is the History for Kids Reading Adventures Club, Saturday mornings at 11, starting on January 13th through February 10th. They will have a kids reading time pretty much for ages 4 to 10, but the theme this year is with liberty and justice for all. So they are talking about, it's not just Civil War. Like they have a book here about Sonia Sotomayor. So it's taking history and using the theme liberty and justice for all. So you can find that more online, and they're really cool, and they do a lot of activities with the kids.
Is that Barb?
That's Barb.
Yeah, Barb
and
does
John.
a great job.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, and John, too.
Yep. So they announced
Sorry, John.
that.
I didn't mean to be like, oh, yeah, and John.
Yeah, and John.
John Hoptack, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we love him. So more information on their website at nps.gov/GETT if you want to look at their calendar for that. But what most people have been all abuzz about is that they announced the Winter Lecture Series for 2024. So starting January 6th on Saturday, you get, starting off with a bang, ladies and gentlemen, we have All This Is Monument Enough, Sickles and New York's Monument Commission by our very own Matthew Atkinson.
Oh, very nice.
So not only do you have Matt, which is entertaining in of itself, but you have Matt doing a program about Daniel Sickles.
Right.
It's going to be very
Two of the more
interesting.
controversial people related to Gettysburg.
Yes. So
All
be
in one.
prepared. So
So you know
those-
what the biggest news is related to the winter lectures?
I see. I thought you were going to.
Oh, no. Well, you're the news person.
Oh, okay. So the biggest news, get the glam look up, is our very own Matt Callery will be doing the official recording of the Winter Lecture Series.
That's right. Yeah, just bought a camera, and I want to vomit at how much money I spent on the damn thing.
I can imagine.
And,
they are not going to do a live recording.
No. These are okay. So these are not going to be live streamed, and this was part of the deal. This was not my call. Chris said you don't have to live stream them. The internet connection, even when you're plugged into the wall down in the dungeon there, because the theater is like, is it subterranean or is it just? It is subterranean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's underground, and with all the people in there using,
means.
yeah. Well, just in case people didn't understand what that meant, I thought I'd give them a synonym. And anyway, so the if you're on Wi-Fi, like you can't get a signal down there to save your life. Number one. Number two, he said last year the problem they were having with live streaming, they were actually plugged into the wall and they were still having problems. And he said, I don't want it live streamed. I want it recorded and uploaded. So the way it's working, and I have to fit this into my regular schedule, which of course, ladies and gentlemen, is full of recordings for you on Patreon and on the free feed. And so that we do a lot of recording in the wintertime. So I've got to somehow work it in here so you're not going to see them on Saturday or Sunday because it's just impossible for me to get them recorded, edited, and uploaded on Saturday and Sunday. I got to have some time to myself. And the rest of the week, I don't. So, I will be editing them and uploading them in the course of the week, and I will get them up early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere around there. They will be up, but you will not get them when they are being done, but you will get them nonetheless once a week. You're going to get 2 lectures a week. There will be video, and I'm going to add something to it that they didn't do before.
Some spice.
Little spice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the lecture. I'm going to come up with 2 or 3 questions, and I'm going to ask the presenter at the end on video a couple of questions.
Good idea.
We don't videotape the questions when the audience asks questions. They never really did that, and I'm not going to do that. Typically the questions aren't that good. I'll be honest with you. They're what's it like to stand up there? I mean, they're not. Some of them are actually really good. You can tell the people that know what they're talking about. But then other ones are kind of very basic. So that's why you don't put them out there. So anyway, I'll ask a couple of questions, 2 or 3, to the presenter on camera after everybody's left them alone or something like that, and then that'll go up at the end there. So that's just
that'll be nice.
Something different. And by the way, I think I might actually, because the schedule's out there, and our patrons are really smart. And so I might just say to the patrons, hey, if you want me to ask a question on any one of these lectures, send them in. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Second lieutenants and above.
Kind of just did it.
I just did it. Second lieutenants and above are going to get that perk. Look at all that.
So, but if you are here in Gettysburg and would like to attend the actual live event, they are held at 1:30 p.m. on weekends at the Gettysburg National Military Park Museum and Visitor Center, January 6th through March 3rd, unless otherwise noted. Now they have Matt Atkinson talking about sickles. They've got Carlton Smith talking about if these things could talk, the naval edition. So we got artifacts.
Well, that'll be interesting.
The Heavens Meet Earth at Gettysburg, Design of Sacred Spaces by Troy Harmon. I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm at least going to do January. If These Things Could Talk, Treasures from the Collection of Gettysburg National Military Park with Tom Holbrook. The Great Crusade at 80, Eisenhower, Gettysburg, and the Legacy of D-Day by Dan Vermiglia. He's from the Eisenhower National Historic Site. Wolverines at Gettysburg, Michigan Soldiers in the Battle of Gettysburg with Wayne Motts. He's the president and CEO of the Gettysburg Foundation. And then January 27th, Major General George Sykes. I'm glad he actually did that one. The Life and Service of Gettysburg's least known and most elusive Corps Commander with John Hoptack. And then the 28th, last one, if I ever get back to you, I will live a different life. The Life and Letters of the Iron Brigade's John Parrington and his wife Sarah by Dr. Peter Carmichael from the Civil War Institute at Gettysburg College. Yes. So, guys, the list is online. Definitely check it out. Again, this website being nps.gov/GETT. And you can see the calendar there and get the whole list of all of the talks. They are really cool to go and see, guys. And they work so hard on coming up with topics and doing the research throughout the year amongst the bajillion other things that they're doing.
Yeah.
That it is so nice to show them support by actually coming out and listening to them speak.
It is fun because it's a lot of the same people that come every week, and so you kind of get to know
It's
each
like a
other.
party
It's
of
like a little.
friends.
It's like a nerd party.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay, Dr. Evil.
It's a nerd party. It's a bunch of nerds getting together.
I can't even handle you right now. So that's the regular news because I knew it was going to take a long time to go over that. So I have historical news now.
All right. So, do you want sidewalk conditions first? We've got our sidewalk conditions reporter on the air. Jamie, you're on the air now with sidewalk conditions.
Woo, thank goodness. 'Cause, man, it is chilly.
I know. Poor girl standing out there on the sidewalk just waiting for us to get to her.
Literally.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm going for a walk today. So
good.
Stuck with me.
All right. So what do you got?
But,
what do you got for us?
well, at least there hasn't been any pedestrian accidents since August of this year. So we have that going for us in town.
Okay.
Although, there was almost one today, and I swear to God, if I could ever get one of those crossing light buttons up here at General Lee's headquarters, a.k.a. Mary Thompson's house, because she's better. But anyway, there needs to be a light up there or something, because I was trying to cross there today with my lovely daughter, and a woman had pulled out of that parking lot and was just waiting to go on her cell phone up to her ear. And then she had no turn signal on, and she went to go turn almost right into us because I thought she was going forward. Ugh. And I'm like, "Ah!" I had to give her the deer in headlights angry face. So, few people see that, and she got it today.
The deer in the headlights angry face.
Just know that that's one of the things that always amazes me about this town is that people forget that people actually live here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when you're out there doing stuff and you're being a tourist, there's people like Jamie who are trying to walk her daughter to the school bus.
Yeah.
And
like live a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why a lot of the locals, not myself, nobody in this room, nobody affiliated with this show, but there's a reason why a lot of people refer to them as Torons.
Because they act like morons sometimes.
There you got it. Yep.
I believe it.
There it is.
I try not to be a moron, though. I've been.
Yeah,
I think I've been here.
Just don't run people over, Kelly. Just don't run people over.
I think I can manage
Trump
that.
voice.
I think, honestly, once you've written a book, you're a townie. You're fine.
I would consider moving here or retiring here.
Do it.
I think there's a reason why people call... what did I say? Whatever, I lost it.
Hey,
Toron.
Any other
Toron.
things, Jamie, since you're out there in the
They
cold?
call them Torons. That's what they're called. Okay, and I know the best Torons around. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Jamie, any other?
I must tell some interesting stories, because I'll tell you, it's really surprised me when my mother came out with the phrase Toron one day when I was back home, and I go, oh man, do I complain that much about people in this town already?
You're
funny.
official.
It's funny because down south, I grew up right around Disney World, so obviously we mad tourists, and we just call them Yankees. That's the honest to God's truth too. That's what we call them.
Well,
I'm originally from up by the Poconos, so we just call everybody down here Southerners.
Yeah.
True story.
This is kind of like, yeah. All right. So what else? Is that it for the sidewalk conditions,
all right.
Shane?
Well, use your dang Bluetooth in the car and use the damn turn signal, for crying out loud. Donner wants to have more children.
Wow, I mean, Jamie is really taking the pedestrians' cause up here.
Yeah, this is why we love sidewalk
You
conditions.
could tell that she walks a lot.
Yeah.
Because if anybody knows sidewalk conditions in town, it's Jamie, and that's why Jamie is our sidewalk condition crack reporter.
Yes.
Now, and by that I mean she reports on the cracks in the sidewalk. All right.
I know where they all are.
Bet you do. Jamie, thank you very much for this intrepid reporting once again, and we will see you on Saturday. Are you bringing the family?
Heck yeah.
Good. We'll see you then.
Absolutely.
Wear your ugly Christmas sweater. By the way, you reminded me, the grand prize, it's official now.
Okay.
The grand prize for the winner of the ugly Christmas sweater contest is... both volumes of Scott Hartwig's Antietam book.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It is a great idea. Yeah, because that's going to save you.
Is it signed?
Well, of course
my
they're signed.
God.
Of course they're signed. I signed them yesterday. No, Scott signed them. Yes, Scott signed them, and that'll save you about 100 smackers, folks. And I know a lot of people wanted the books.
Stepping up my game now.
Well,
Yep.
I look incredibly nerdy if I admit that I think some ugly Christmas sweaters are kind of cute.
No, you're
no,
not
I mean, they're
incredibly
cute.
nerdy.
Some of them are
cute.
really
Yeah,
cute.
they're
The
cute.
one Deb on right now is super cute.
What?
Yeah, it's
What are you saying? It's ugly?
I know that.
I think that's
just
why
gonna hone
they're
in
not
on that.
sophisticated.
I
but they're-
think that's
Girls are
what
so
they are.
backhanded, bro. They
are
they
so
just
backhanded.
lay in those.
Debbie, you know what I meant.
Backhanded.
I love you.
I wonder what
Everybody else shut up.
Intercom Gump thinks about that.
Stupid is stupid does.
Hey.
That's what Mama always said.
Colby.
Thank you, Intercom Gump. Okay.
Your life is
All right, can
not
you
a
let
box of
poor Jamie
chocolates.
go inside now?
Oh, Jamie, go inside. I'm sorry, please. We'll see you on Saturday.
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
You got it.
All right, good.
Good
see you-
night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
See you, love you, bye.
Goodbye. And wait, before you get to
Bye.
historic news, we have to do. You're still on events, right? And what are you doing, Forrest?
Just breathing.
Cindy, if you don't mind, go to either Forrest's microphone or the other microphone. And could, or maybe well, Cindy, let's get Cindy some spotlight here. Cindy, darling, who is the brewery and the distillery that will be with us on Saturday night?
In the meantime, I'm going to read some of these out loud.
She said she'll get it in 2 shakes of a lamb's leg.
The various varlet that ever chewed with a tooth.
Okay, so we have Big Bottom Brewery.
Big
and
Bottom Brewery.
Cold Spring Hollow Distillery.
Cold Spring Hollow Distillery out of both Mechanicsburg?
No, Big Bottom Brewery is out of Dillsburg.
Dillsburg.
And the distillery is out of Mercersburg.
Mercersburg. Oh, Mercersburg. Okay. Dillsburg. What is it they say about Dillsburg?
There's a lot of pickles.
That it's just there to slow you down.
It's just there to slow you down.
You know, my family's from Dillsburg.
Well, there you go.
No, I'm joking.
I rest my case.
I mean, my grandmother was, but that's okay.
All right, go ahead there with your
Historical
news, ladies and gentlemen.
Dun, dun,
Need a song for this too.
dun, 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 dun. Okay. From the Adams Sentinel, December 8th, 1863, on page 3. So, before I read this, I want to stop.
All right, go ahead.
Before I read this, I want to point out, if you're like me and you think about the way things happened and, you know, historically, one of the things that I've always wondered is, I wonder how people reported that they had dead bodies in their yard. After the battle.
Probably just like, I got one over here.
They didn't have 911 back then.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not like you could be like.
Well, there was. I think there was a.
And I will tell you. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. This is from page 3, December 8th, 1863. This is a article in the
I just love the stressed lemon.
Ads. This was an ad taken out by David Wills. Dead on the battlefield. Farmers are requested to leave at my office in Gettysburg a description of the location on their lands of graves of Union soldiers. Many have been buried in secluded spots, and persons will confer a great favor by making known to me or to Mr. Samuel Weaver the locality of such graves.
So these are buried bodies.
Yes.
I thought the way you phrased it, you made it sound like just right after the battle, dead bodies.
Oh, no, this is buried people. Sorry. But, like, he took out an ad. That's what they did. Surreal to me.
But that's what they had to do. I mean, they invented what to do.
I guess.
Right? There was no FEMA.
I just expected there to be, like, something more official.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm going to take out an ad and right under it, it's just they're talking about an event at the Adams County Teachers Institute.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like we said, human nature doesn't change, but society changes so radically, and we see everything from our point of view as modern people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, 100 years from now, what are we doing now that people are going to look back on and say, seriously? Or
I hope they see us as stupid as I see us. I swear I hope they do, but they won't. They'll be dumber.
Well, I mean, honestly, I occasionally substitute teach, and sometimes I have told kids that when Miss G was in school, we didn't have the internet or cell phones, and they look at me like, like I'm a dinosaur. And to be honest, I have to stop and think about it sometimes. How
did I do that? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
How did we do that?
How did you find your place to somebody's house? Or, like, I just moved, come over to my new house.
Yeah.
What's the address? Pop it in, you go.
Yeah,
but back then, you had MapQuest. Remember, we had print out maps?
And then also it was just like, so where's that?
Yeah, cell
Where do
phones.
I take that right at?
Cell phones were science fiction in the 80s, and we didn't know we were deprived because it was...
Yeah,
that just wasn't a thing back then. But now it's, I mean, if you would have told me you have like this all-knowing, omniscient thing in your pocket, I would have thought it was a sci-fi film.
Well, I can tell you this. If I ever need to know where the dead buried, I am not putting an ad in the newspaper.
Oh, gosh, no.
Well, but they had no other choice.
I guess it just seems weird considering the other articles, the other ads that are around it of events and things for... And there's dead bodies on the battlefield.
And in the ad, do they
That's it. That's the
do they
whole ad.
describe the body?
No, it's just that. Everything I read was all it is.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also, I thought this was kind of funny. On page 1 of that same newspaper, it just in the very bottom right-hand column, among some bunch of one-sentence things, it says, conundrum. Why should George B. McClellan always be styled a general? Because he has proved himself to be nothing in particular. So even back then, they were throwing shade on George B. McClellan.
My favorite thing was about Burnside. And Mike Lance, you might have heard this, and correct me if I'm misremembering it, but it was something like, a modest man with much to be modest about.
Oh,
I like that.
That's a very eloquent insult.
Yes, it is. That's a good one. All right, what else you got?
All right, so December 8th, 1941. Of course, this is after Pearl Harbor.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
So the article on the front page of the Gettysburg Times says, C.W. Epley Jr. joins U.S. Army. 18-year-old son of Mr. and Mrs. Clarence Epley of Chambersburg Street went to the U.S. Army barracks at Carlisle at noon today to volunteer his services to the United States government. Young Epley is the first countian to volunteer after formal U.S. entry into the war.
Wow.
So he was the first one. Next to it, there's this article, which just kind of is very surreal. It says, "Good luck, Jim!" ! The Gettysburg Times this morning received the following telegram. San Diego, California, December 7th, 1941, to the Gettysburg Times. Saying hello and goodbye to my friends. Signed Sergeant James E. McLeaf. A native of Adams County, and he is attached to Company D of the 4th U.S. Marines.
Right.
That's how he kind of
Hey,
told
Colby,
everybody he was going to be fighting.
Were you in the Marines, Colby?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
Loud and
double
proud,
check.
baby.
wanted to give him another chance to talk about it. There.
Anytime it's customary. Anytime you hear, like, I don't know, at least in the infantry, anytime you hear a historical Marine mentioned in any way, or anybody mentions me, you got to give them a rah. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I noticed. Yeah, you hear them doing that. You hear them. You doing it. The hurrah. They do these. Okay, go ahead.
Although there's a difference. If it's older Marines, like World War II Marines, they like to say Semper Fi. So like
Yes.
I've said
I've noticed that.
I've said hurrah to a few older ones, and they kind of look at me funny, and they'll just say Semper Fi.
Quit
now
being a crazy
now
person.
I gauge my my retort there based on the age of who I'm speaking to.
Right.
So this one was less about what the object of the article is about and more about just how even 2 years later people forget things. So this is from December 7th, 1943. So 2 years,
2 years
later.
after.
You'd think that there would be something in the newspaper commemorate because we're still in war. And there are articles about what's happening in the military at that particular time, but the front page article set is the local story. Is not a tribute to World War II and D-Day. It is offer of trade stirs dispute of ownership of cut glass chandelier in Edgin House. So apparently there was a huge controversy. This is the main article. On December 7th, 1943. There was a chandelier in the engine house that they were fighting over between the fire department and the borough council.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So this is what was the big news of the day, not commemorating something horrible that happened 2 years
Two
before
years ago.
or anything local about the war. We're fighting over a glass chandelier.
Yeah, well, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And that's not sounds about right for Gettysburg. It sounds about right for the United States
States of America.
Yeah.
We forget so easily.
Well, perhaps all people. Who knows? I don't live in another country, so I don't know what they do.
All right, moving on. December 7th, 1985, page 3 of the Gettysburg Times. I thought this was kind of cool considering we're dealing with the Historical Society and they just moved into their new building. It says Historical Society reviews material and volunteer accomplishments in 1985. So it talks about kind of a year wrap up of everything that happened with the Historical Society in that particular year.
Okay.
But one of the things, if you are a big nerd and have seen the map done by Arthur Wiener of the Manor of Mask of Adams County, that huge one that they have. Has anybody else seen this?
The what?
That huge that they have of the Manor of Mask.
No, I don't think I've seen that one. No.
Well, this
of the
is
county map.
Yeah, this one is just being completed.
Okay.
So that map, that if you're familiar with it, he was just finishing it and placing the farms that are currently out there on the map. So you can see where they were in the Manor of Mask. They also thank a whole bunch of volunteers. But stop it.
Sorry.
The one thing that they acquired was a whole bunch of Revolutionary Allegiance records, as well as a bunch of deeds of the Huntington Friends Meeting House and different places around the property. So this is like the year in which a lot of those deeds were acquired from the county into the Historical Society, as well as everything had been digitized by this point.
Oh, okay.
So this is in 1985. So when we think of the Historical Society today and this amazing collection that they have, and they just opened this new building to do everything, this is them. This is the last time they did that in 1985.
Wow.
And it's a list of everything that they did. All the newspapers being digitized, all of the county records being digitized.
Wow. What do you do? Go to newspapers.com?
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you get all these?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I got to join.
I want to join that too.
It
Yeah,
is cool.
I'm a newspaper person, so
Yeah, you should.
I spent years in that industry.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's an excellent source of
It
historical
is
quotes.
of a lot of really nerdy things.
Right. And again, if there's nobody alive who was connected to an event you're writing about, you rely on quotations based on what people said at the time. And newspapers.com would be an excellent source for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also just to see how they get the story wrong at first.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
All of the estate files that we all talk about and looking for property records and stuff, they were finally digitized in 1985. So I'm just telling you, we were ahead of the game, even in 1985.
All right. What else?
That's it. I have events.
All right. But that's not events?
No, that was.
Oh, you have events, though.
I have events.
Jesus.
He's just ready.
Do you need to go or what?
No, I'm starving, but also I have a very long list of people to thank that I want to get to before we're done. So I thought, go ahead, go with the events.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
community events. This week is the Gettys Tuba Carol Fest. Everybody loves
Beautiful
that.
time.
On the 8th, starting at 7 p.m. in the Lincoln Square until whenever we decide to end it. There's also an Encounters with History. There are still tickets left for this. It is a paid-for ticketed event. It's in the history of the U.S. Navy during the Civil War with host and presenter Dan Orr, starting at 9 a.m. and ending at 12 p.m. on Saturday. You can get your tickets at gettysburgfoundation.org. There's also an evening with the painting on the 9th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. There are only 6 tickets left for the last one of the year. I definitely would recommend taking advantage of that. You can get that also at gettysburgfoundation.org. Remember that this is the second weekend of only the month of December that you can do holiday tours of the Eisenhower home. They are first come, first served at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They are free and open to the public, but they are first come, first served. So get on it. Remember that the Santa Shanty hours are posted online if you want to go see our friend Santa Claus.
Shanty.
Shriver Christmas. The Shriver house has been decorated for Christmas, and you can go and see it. Their hours are posted online.
She does a great job with that. Cindy, we got to go and see that.
The Shriver house?
The Shriver house.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Highly recommend. Have you seen
Highly,
it?
highly
Kelly?
recommend.
I haven't seen it decorated for Christmas, but I have.
That's what I mean. You got to see it. Yeah, you got to see it.
It's beautiful.
I read a story for Cat Fancy magazine many years ago about the resident cat there, Buddy.
Okay.
Oh, that's
over at Shriver?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
you
adorable.
See him, you see her in the window of the gift shop.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Maybe 10 years. I hope Buddy's still around.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out, yeah.
He's a very sweet kitty.
So Daniel Lady Farm is doing candlelight tours of the farm from 5:30 to 9. Tickets are on sale, and they're only doing it for 2 days. The last day is the 9th. So if you want to see it all lit up, I drove past on the 2nd when they had it all lit up. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you get a chance to go through, I would do that.
Yeah, all right.
And last but not least, the Gettysburg Civic Chorus Christmas Concert is being held on the 9th and 10th at 3 p.m. at the middle school.
Civic Chorus Concert.
Yeah, try saying that 100 times fast.
Wow. Civic Chorus Christmas Concert.
Okay, so feel free to go to that. It is free and open to the public. Okay.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
I know.
Hey, Forrest.
Oh, that was just me using his intercom.
He's gonna thank
Sound
you.
funny.
Okay.
Well, I'll wait.
No, if you gotta go, you can go. Okay. Hey, thank you, Eric Houston, for the super like of 50. Thank you very kindly. He says, Merry Christmas, AG Today team. Thank you for entertaining and educating us. You're very
I think it
welcome.
was my voice got it for you.
That's what it was. Colby pushed him over the edge, and he's like, I'm going to help these guys out. Thank you very much, Eric. And thank you, by the way, Eric, for your help this year with the flag on our tours and dragging your family out and making them part of the color guard. That's very nice. All right, so we have a lot of people to thank. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to thank everybody and sign off for the year at the end of it. So, Beth, thank you for tonight. And then there's more thanking in here for you. Kelly, thank you for coming in. Great luck with the book.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
very welcome.
Be back next month?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll get Dave on you there. Everybody in the back, Colby, 6 questions. Everybody back there, Debbie, Cindy, guys, thank you very much for your help tonight. And let me go through the. Should I do sappy music for the?
Sure.
No, because then that doesn't seem genuine. Let me go through this here. All right, this is in random order.
Of how you thought about
Play some kind of music in the background.
You think?
Christmas Carol.
Maybe not sappy. Maybe like upbeat, silly.
Well, but that. Okay, you know what? How about this? I got it there, Colby. I got it. All right, here we go.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
All right, so. Here we go. Dave, the first. So this is in random order, except there's a few that are like this one here. Dave Bussier for handling my schedule. If it were not for Dave, we would not have had the year that we had, and that is no exaggeration. By August of this year, we were recording shows slated for 2024, and that's all because of Dave and his bulldog grip on my schedule. And also, people that he contacted to be on the show. Steve Byers and Casey Turbin for doing a killer job with the book and film clubs, respectively. The committee for helping with the seminary show and the Adams County Historical Society show. That's Bill, Cindy, Steve, Ty, Maria, and Beth. Andrew Dalton and the staff at the Adams County Historical Society for letting us do a show there last March, and also their support and encouragement with the show. The Farnsworth House for sponsoring the Get Out of the Car tours. Louis Trott for creating and leading the Get Out of the Car tours. Amy Welsh for the concept of That's What She Said. Beth and Veronica. Where am I? Sorry, I had to look down. Beth and Veronica, not only for being my co-hosts on AG Today, but also for co-hosting That's What She Said with each other, like a couple of pros right out of the gate. Estella Beard for wearing the Listener of the Year crown with dignity and enthusiasm. Bo Brinkman for his encouragement, support, advice, and friendship. Peter Carmichael for his encouragement, support, advice, and friendship, for inviting AG to cover the summer conference 2 years in a row, and for trying in vain to convince me that I'm a historian. Gary Edelman for his many plugs of addressing Gettysburg on ABT videos, and for including me in not only his Gettysburg movie 30th anniversary videos, but also, along with Andrew Dalton, thinking to let me host a panel during the anniversary festivities, which was a tremendous amount of fun. It was the birth of the Martin Sheen joke, and that hasn't come out on video yet, but I don't know when they're waiting to put those out, but they'll be out someday soon, I'm guessing. Dustin Harmer, not only for his role as Huevos Grande on this show, but also for trying all year long to find a house to move into down here so he could become my producer. A swing and a miss, Dusty, but you'll get there eventually. Take your time, but hurry up. And that's not to replace you, Colby. That's a different producer for the history shows. Chris Gwynn for coming on the show to update you, the audience, on what the interpretive programs you can expect each season, and most recently for offering the official partnership that we have now with the Park Service to do the winter lecture videos. Steve Sims, who has left us recently, but we appreciate his willingness to come on Addressing Gettysburg. Let's see, a couple times. And also for having us out to Little Round Top twice to cover the progress on the rehab and update you guys on that. For all of the guests, there's too many to mention here. But all of the guests that we've had, not only in this year, but every year, but this year especially, because this is the end of this year. But we want to thank all of the guests that we have had, because you guys honestly bring legitimacy to my efforts here that I never could bring. So thank you all for that. The audience loves you, and so do I. Colby, Mr. Colby, back there, for manning the cameras after working all day in his studio on his show, but especially for his faithful friendship, which I have come to treasure over the course of the last year. Debbie Jones, for jumping right into things, lending a hand whenever she can, and for taking my apartment off my hands when I moved. That was very easy. I just like my landlord. I'm like, hey, got somebody for you. 6 questions, Lance. Even though he had a rough year, he still made it to some of our tours and into the studio to sit on some recording sessions that he was particularly interested in not missing. Mike, your additions to the show, I think, make it a lot better. You have great insight that you add, and the audience agrees with me. They love it. Thank you for coming in and doing all that. All the other podcasts who invited me on their show as a guest, the History Things podcast, the History Hour, and the Three Guys podcast. I hope I didn't forget anybody there, but I think I only did those 3 this year. Thank you very much for having me. And if I did forget somebody, I'm very sorry.
We tried once, and then we got a little too carried away.
We had a 5-hour interview. We have to redo that.
A little too carried away. We were having too much fun.
5 hours is way too long. Where'd I leave off here? Even Cam, perhaps especially Cam, gets my thanks for being such a great sport most of the time and coming into taking our ribbing here. We tease you because we love, Cam, and I don't want you to forget that because it's true. All of our sponsors, for their continued support and belief in what we do. I encourage all of you listening to patronize our sponsors. Those commercials aren't just there so it sounds like we're a radio show. Those are actual sponsors of the show that want your business. So please patronize them online or when you come and visit here in Gettysburg. Eric Dorr, who, and I do not exaggerate in calling him my savior. And I will tell you why. I could tell that my time at Getty's Bike was dwindling. The show was starting to outgrow the space there. I could tell we were getting in the way of the growth of Getty's Bike. Like, they wanted to use that space for other things. And then there was the electrical issues that we had, and then the internet issues, and I couldn't grow even though I needed to go. All this growth needed to be happening. And Eric, out of the blue, I wasn't complaining about this. He didn't know. He had no clue. Out of the blue, he's like, hey, I'm buying the building next to me. There's office space in the carriage house. I want to give you space for a studio. And I was like, what? Okay.
We love you.
Yes. And so honestly, ladies and gentlemen, we probably would not be sitting doing a show today if he didn't do that. Because to be honest with you, if we couldn't fit in the shed anymore, I wouldn't have had a place to do it, and I would have had to end it, which would have really stunk for me, because then I would have had to figure out what to do with myself. But so please, if you like addressing Gettysburg, don't forget that you wouldn't be listening to us right now if it weren't for two people, Eric and the patrons. And so when you come to Gettysburg, you got to go to the Gettysburg Museum of History. And if you can't get to Gettysburg, go to the GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com and follow them on social media, all that stuff. You can get artifacts online on their website. A lot of cool stuff. Definitely check out the Gettysburg Museum of History. Most importantly, though, a huge thank you to the listeners of AG. Whether you listen on this show here, AG Today, or the history shows only, or all of the shows, whether you're a patron or a freeloader, you all matter and you all count, and that's true. You truly do. I appreciate you all. And frankly, even those of you who hate watch or hate listen, and you share the hate in the comments section, you guys help too. And I know that probably pisses you off, and I don't mean to piss you off. I only wish to thank you truly from the bottom of my heart for providing me with the ability to live out my dreams for the 5th year in a row. God bless you all. Even the atheists out there. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope that 2024 brings you safety, good health, prosperity, and joy. And thank you for listening. And ladies and gentlemen, good night. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, Cindy knows, of course, I love her.
We all know.
And Cindy, how can I forget
so great
Cindy?
to be here, and I would love to